Hey James, you ready for round two today? Because I am. I'm ready to go. Oh, James, it's going to be fun tonight. Hi, Maureen. How are you? Well, I got a lot of videos to catch up on, and want to see if I can get this done before AP starts. So let me get my VLC going here. So I think I want to get to Adrasdea first. Open the Adrasdea folder here.
You win, okay? You win. You can stop now. You can leave me alone. You can stop trying to hurt me. You have won. Okay, you win. Nobody is going to help me. You got it. It took a whole year, but you have convinced the entire world that I am useless garbage that deserves nothing but pain and suffering and death. You have won. So why can't you just leave me alone? I'm not going to try anymore. I won't ask anybody else to care about me or to try to help me out. I will stop defending myself because I know nobody cares and nobody's listening. The entire world wants me dead, including my own family. And I'm not even allowed to pretend that there's a single person on this earth who cares about me now.
That's not necessarily true, Mary. Mary, we're not happy with what happened with Roberta Laws. We understand that you really didn't probably have a choice in any of all this. You were just kind of along for the ride. But, Mary, certain things about your story just don't add up. And we're kind of calling you out on the bullshit of those elements of your stories. Now, you can reform. That's the good part of it, is that you can find salvation. And it's not necessarily salvation through Jesus Christ or through any kind of therapy or anything like that. You find salvation through, just personal admission. You just kind of open up to your heart and say, you know what? It happened. I'm sorry, Roberta. Just make a video saying, I'm very sorry, Roberta. Okay?
Everybody wants me dead so that they can have a good Christmas knowing that I'm gone.
No, nobody wants you dead, Adrasdea. Nobody wants you dead. We keep telling you this. We want you to get better. We want you to get help. We know you have problems. We know you have mental issues. But if you can't face those issues, and you keep doing these little attention-seeking devices that you keep doing, it isn't working, Mary.
I want me dead.
I wanted me dead for a long time too, Mary. You know what? When nothing goes right, yeah, you feel like the weight of the world is on you, and you can't do anything right. Yeah, I've had those same thoughts, Mary. I understand what you're going through, Mary. Trust me.
I haven't had a life in so long. What's the point?
I bring my cows on my ranch for a very good reason, Mary.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope that it makes you all feel so happy and proud of yourselves to know that this is how I'll be spending my Christmas. Alone, in tears, and wanting to die.
Well, it's only a few days until Christmas, so I thought I would read some of the emails that I've been receiving. You know, to show people the love and the kindness that I receive during the holiday seasons. Let's see. Niece says, I don't give a fuck if you like me. I have a niece I can see whenever I want. Do you?
I don't have any family, Adrasdea. You know what? The closest relatives that I have are from my mom's side of my family, and they're in Wisconsin, and I really have no connection to any of them. You know what? Because when my mom's half of the family moved from Wisconsin to Lexington, like something like 70 years ago, it doesn't, you just lose touch, and they want to try to reach out to me, and they keep bugging me all the time for wanting me to send them my family albums, my family photo albums, because they want to scan them and preserve them. And I'm like, you know what? No, no, those are my family photo albums. No, no, you know what?
Needs I can see whenever I want. Do you? See, they're all the same. Yeah.
If you hadn't threatened to dox niece, she wouldn't be doing this to you, Mary.
I don't give a fuck if you like me. My aunt makes me weed cookies. Does yours? No, mine spreads lies about me to try to get me to kill myself. I don't give a fuck if you like me. My mother loves me. Does yours? I don't give a fuck if you like me, Mary. My family loves me. Does yours?
This isn't helping her. Please stop contacting her, okay? I put that warning in my video for a reason because she needs help. I'm trying to, bring these people who need help to somebody's attention. Don't contact them and don't make the shit worse, okay?
No, no, they don't. My family does not love me. There's Adonis Penis who sent me a Adrasdea fanfic, which is disgusting.
Guarantee you that was a Proton Mail account, Mary.
Yeah, they've got my nudes on Kiwi Farms.
Mary, why did you do that anyway? I know that, things are tough right now, but for you, I'm surprised you're not out there selling plasma. I'm not, I'm surprised that you're not out there like, doing more things like, trying to raise money for yourself, but you just smoke it probably all the way on weed anyway.
Nudes on Kiwi Farms, it's never going away now. Maybe don't go out of your way to attack people, flag channels and videos, and make as many enemies as possible, and then release your own nudes publicly on your own channel.
You did the nudes because you wanted the attention. You knew that we were talking about you on my live stream on Saturday. You knew that, we were bringing up all the old subjects again. And then when you were in the chat, you sat there, you watched the chat, you listened to the video, and then as soon as you heard Adrasdea did something, that's when you start spinning out of control. And then as soon as, we're done talking about Adrasdea and we bring up other subjects, you don't understand that we are not talking about you anymore. That's how you confused the fact that I was talking about the fact in Pueblo, there are homeless people who bring their dogs into the median of the highway to try to grift for pity donations out of the motorists. And somehow you thought it was about you, Mary. You don't have a dog. When did I ever accuse you of having a dog, Mary?
Maybe don't do all that and send pics out for $5 if it bothers you when they get released.
Mary, you should have really taken that video down as soon as you realized that it had nudity because you knew it was going to get picked apart by everybody.
Maybe don't go contacting people's sponsors and making false police reports and then flash the internet if you don't want that to become part of your lore, Mary.
That is what you did. You said in one video, I didn't flag Adonis Paul's channel. And then in that very same video, oh, I flagged Adonis Paul's channel and I told other people to flag it. You're a piece of work, Mary.
Oops, someone is letting her e-horse sideshow. I think a good plan would be to send this to anyone who ever donates to you, or anyone who ever accidentally gave their information when you flip your screens. You're body positive, so why do you care? This was a gif of my flash during the show them to me.
Don't show it, please, Mary. I don't want to have to cut to another video immediately, but you know, don't show it.
Let's see here. Why do your gross, chewed up tits hang under your armpits? Nice. One last attempt to talk sense to a retard. Mary, you're not going to win the titty war. You fucked up. Accept it. James Robert Clark III is sharing your videos in his community tab. You could have him on copyright because it's not fair use.
Actually, if he puts it up on the community tab, it's the community tab. It's like fair use. It doesn't apply to fair use if you're sharing a video. That's not necessarily you making commentary on it. Okay, so the I think Nice is very upset at the fact that James Robert Clark and Adrasdea are now kind of trying to cross promote each other because they're trying to take down the mighty Daywave and the mighty Adonis Paul, who are harassing them. But sharing a video, James Robert Clark III sharing a video on his community tab is not a violation of fair use. It's simply what the YouTube community tab is there for, is to share links. So, and it's YouTube's own link anyway, so YouTube is going to be like, what is the problem with sharing a video on a community tab?
He's using your videos to get at people who hate him.
And this is trying to manipulate Adrasdea into being angry about JRC3 showing her videos. He's not showing the titty video. He's just showing other videos. And JRC3 is doing it, bless his heart, because he honestly thinks that he's going to win Mary over.
He also has become friends with Blissey, trying to get her subs. James wants the attention you're getting and is using your videos. Do something about it. Okay, Mary, you retarded dumb fuck. James and Blissey can tease you. I don't give a fuck. Die on the titty hill, you Herman Munster looking freak.
Mary. This is not right what you're going through. I know it. And if you would just come to grips with the fact that your role in the murder of Roberta Laws is greater than you think, and if you would stop attacking the people who are trying to help you, then it would stop other people who are, easy to get upset and angry to become angry at you, Adrasdea. I mean, Mary, look at how much Niece spammed your mailbox today. And I'm not saying that it's right that she did that, but she has some justification for it. After all, you did threaten to dox her and her family.
Proof James is lying to you and who he is friends with.
Doesn't matter. Mary herself has said it doesn't matter, about James Robert Clark.
Thanks for the video, dumbass. They're watching it live. A video of my breasts. Check James Clark's community tab. say bye to that YouTube channel. Well, this found its way on the Kiwi Farms last night somehow. Next time, pay attention before posting your bath time on YouTube. FYI, it's not revenge porn if you post it in public, yourself. In fact, your little offer at the end for someone to pay $5 is why you will lose your YouTube channel. You are not allowed to sell sex on their platform. Accidental nip slip? That's a strike. Combine that with the send me money for more, and that is the termination of your account.
Mary, just ignore anything that comes from Proton Mail, okay? From now on, if you see an email address and it says Proton Mail at the end, ignore it, please.
Yeah, so when y'all wonder why I don't care for many of you, I'm receiving this every day. We're 3 days away from Christmas. And, that means nothing to me, right? Because I'm alone. I have no family to celebrate with. I have nobody that's going to give me a gift. I have nothing to wake up to on Christmas morning. That is my life. I have had that existence for quite a long time.
Mary, when you work at call center jobs, you kind of adopt fictional characters into your call center positioning. And, the last few days, I've kind of technically adopted AP into my call center positioning, and I'll explain why. Because when you have a whole bunch of angry customers for a bunch of different clothing lines, and they're all calling at you and they're screaming, well, this was supposed to be a Christmas gift. What am I supposed to do? And I just sit there and say, you know what? I have a friend of mine who says after you've had a heart attack, every day from then on becomes Christmas Day. Well, I don't care about your friend's health problems. I gave money and I want my clothing. Hold, please, while I get you to a supervisor. That's how it is, Mary. That's how the real world is.
And all of you have family. You have loved ones. You have girlfriends or boyfriends. You have moms and dads, nieces and nephews, grandparents, people that love you. And you could be spending time with them. But instead, you are so full of hatred that you're spending your time harassing a mentally unwell woman who is entirely alone in this world. And you can say you don't want me to hurt myself, but you don't consistently harass somebody who is always on the verge of a mental breakdown.
Mary, Maureen has told you that pendant necklace that you're wearing is not it's not healthy for your skin because it's picking up all kinds of mold and dead skin cells and all kinds of stuff, and you wear it in the shower and it's getting to where it's making your skin unhealthy, and you're probably getting rashes, you're probably getting all kinds of peeling skin under there, and that fabric probably smells to high heaven by now from where you just wear it all the time. You wear it in your sleep, you wear it in the shower, you wear it while you're out on the streets. I understand that you'd have to have that crystal necklace. You don't have to have it all the time, Mary. It's not a magical amulet that's gonna make your world more protected. It doesn't generate any kind of shield around you.
If you're not wanting them to have that mental breakdown, you don't say these things to another human being unless you are trying to inflict damage upon them. Every aspect of my life is judged as wrong and dirty and bad and unworthy.
Mary, we're judging you because the fact that you poop in a salad bowl and then later clean it out and use it to prepare your food with. Fecal to oral route transmission of hepatitis C, Mary. Look it up on your phone, please.
And that's how I have to, I wake up every day knowing that my family does not love me. Every day I wake up knowing that my own family would prefer that I was dead.
No, they don't prefer that you were dead. They prefer that you would just simply come out of this delusional world that you keep putting yourself in. Mary, they don't want you dead. They want to get you help, and you are too narcissistic to accept that help.
Because they got a lot of money they weren't supposed to get by taking it from me. And if I die, they never have to answer for it. So they want me dead because that means that they're free with all of the money that they got and used already. Never have to pay any consequences, never have to answer for it if Mary dies. So, of course, people trying to help my family are going to continue pushing me, pushing and pushing harder and harder. The closer it gets to the bad days, like holidays or my birthday.
I hate the holidays too. You know what? A couple weeks from now, I'm going to turn 51. I don't have anybody to share that day with.
The more the abuse and the harassment will amp up because they are trying to hurt me to the point that I hurt myself.
Then, Mary, if that's the case, then why don't you stop making the videos? Just simply turn off your YouTube account. Hmm? Why don't you simply turn all of those communication methods off? If we're trying to hurt you, then just turn it off, Mary.
They want me dead for Christmas. And that's what I'm having to deal with this year.
Next video is Christmas lock-in.
Okay, so I hope that you're all having a nice holiday season, that you have lots of loved ones to be surrounded by, and lots of gifts and lots of fun. Personally, I'm going to be alone, like I have been for the past few Christmases, which I'm fine with. My problem is that it's going to be raining. It's supposed to be raining for 3 days straight, for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday is Christmas. So, since I have a habit of going out daily to get my supplies, I need to be able to store up for a couple of days so I can have a little Christmas lock-in. I'd like to get a little bit of wine and a little bit of weed. If anybody would like to help support me and fund my little Christmas lock-in, my PayPal will be in the description. It's PayPal me /Adrasdea. Anything helps. A bottle of wine costs $6. A gram of weed costs $8. You know.
I mean, if you put up your own live stream channel, I mean, it would take you having to get like a laptop computer, which you would have to protect because you're of the area that you're in. But if you did your own live streaming, people would throw you money then on your own Streamlabs. It wouldn't be that much, but it would definitely get you your wine and your weed.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you guys celebrate. Um, I hope that I hope that it turns out the way that you're hoping it does. It never does. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, no matter what it is you're celebrating, it's never as good as it's going to be in your mind. That's what the big disappointment with the holiday seasons is, isn't it? We spend so much time anticipating for those days, and then the tiniest little thing will just ruin it for us. Try not to let the tiny things ruin it. So,
Next video, secondhand highs don't work with injection drugs. Well, there's going to be some things I'll dispute about on this, but let's hear her out.
another example of how you people have to bend the truth into a complete 360 in order to demonize me. I said that the guy I ran with for a year, Chris, was on meth. You took that as meaning that he was smoking it, and therefore I was getting a secondhand high from his inhalant drug of meth.
Okay, so you've already kind of screwed up the title of your video, Mary, because you made the title of your video injection drugs, and now you're talking about smokable meth. Okay, now I got to shift gears here because I hadn't previewed this video, and I was going to actually kind of go off about how when we lived in one apartment on one side of Pueblo, our downstairs neighbors would cook up with heroin, and you could actually smell it coming up through the vents, and it was making one of our roommates just sick. We couldn't be in like that part of the house when they were doing that. Thankfully they didn't stay very long, but you could tell that there was somebody cooking up in the apartments below us.
No. Chris was an intravenous drug user.
Okay.
That means that he injected meth into his veins. You don't get a second-hand high from an injection drug.
Well, from being around meth labs, yes, you kind of do get a secondhand high because you're exposing yourself to all those chemicals, Mary, and you handle it, and you're getting that high from handling from the chemicals, and you're getting it from whatever you touch and whatever you eat after you've touched that. Mary, you don't understand crystal meth, do you?
So your entire basis for claiming that I was actually on meth for a year when I was around Chris because he was on it, and you can't be around somebody without being on it because when they smoke it, you get it secondhand.
Mary, why do you think they have to decontaminate the shit out of meth lab houses? Why do you think they have to call in someplace or some cleaning service, some really heavy duty cleaning service it takes because of the chemicals that are used in the meth process? Why do you think that they have to go to that level of cleaning to make a house livable again? And why do you think that it actually has to be declared on the housing report that this was once had to be cleaned up as a meth lab? Why do you think they have to do that, Mary?
It's based on the idea that he was smoking it, when the truth is that he never smoked it. He was an intravenous user.
So he's cooking it over a spoon, basically, you're saying. So if he's cooking it over a spoon, then the fumes from cooking it in the spoon are still carrying off into the air. Mary, you're stupid.
That's how you do it, though. You take the simple facts and you embellish them.
Well, no, you just kind of cut out one half of the facts about the use of intravenous drugs. You can't simply say that, oh, you don't get a secondhand high from injection drugs. Well, no, not from when you draw it out in the spoon and then inject it yourself. But when you're cooking it, yes, you can get a secondhand high.
You change them to demonize me.
You demonize yourself when you lie. Okay, Mary?
When you have no proof of what you're saying. And what you're going to say now is, well, we didn't know that he was an intravenous user. No, you didn't. You didn't know whether it was intravenous or inhalant. You decided on your own to assume that it was an inhalant drug. And then you judged me off of your wrong assumption. Like always. And for
Next video is called Triple Dipping.
those of you saying that I posted on multiple platforms asking for money today, and you're going to expose me for triple dipping and not deleting them when I receive the donations.
Nah, you know what? I don't care about the triple dipping because you know what? I have spammed the shit out of my Teespring links on everywhere I can think of, on Twitter, on Facebook, in YouTube chats. I know. You know what? Who cares about triple dipping, Mary? So what? You're increasing your chances of trying to get somebody to give you money.
You should be aware that I have not received a single donation, and I'm not going to receive a single donation, and it's also none of your business. Like, your entire goal in life is to make sure that I die.
No, Mary. Again, it's not about you dying. We don't want you to die. We want to get you help, but you won't listen to us. You won't accept that help.
Why can't you go and be with your families and loved ones for the holidays instead of torturing somebody online who has nobody?
Good thing about these videos is they're short. Next one is, you're so angry at the idea that I might get $10 for Christmas.
Right, so y'all are saying, well, we're just tired of you asking money from people that you put down every single day.
I don't. I defend myself against the cyber harassment that I have been receiving for a year. There are, okay, there are almost 800 of you on my channel. There are over 1,000 on my Facebook. So, why is it that you believe everything I post is specifically targeted to you? I mean, you're saying you don't want people helping me because I talk shit about people. I don't. I defend myself against the cyber harassers
You don't talk shit about people? Bullshit, Mary.
and terrorists who have been making my life hell for the past year. I don't say things that aren't true. I don't go after people.
You don't say things that aren't true? Oh, gee. Well, let's bring up the fact that in one of your videos you did say, oh, I never reported Adonis Paul's YouTube channel. And then in that very same video, you backpedaled and then you told the truth that yes, you did report Adonis Paul's channel. And yes, you did get your friends to report Adonis Paul's channel. You lie. You lied to us just now about your lying. That's even worse. That is exactly the definition of when you lie, you have to tell another one to keep the first one going.
That's you guys. So you're sitting around angry that I've asked for donations to help with my Christmas on multiple platforms. You're so mad because you're afraid somebody might help me.
No, we're mad that you won't get a job. You try to do anything to turn your life around. We're mad that all you do is just pity grift from people on Facebook and YouTube all day.
You know nobody's going to help me. You know I'm going to be sitting here alone and miserable while you're with your families and friends with all of the money that you've made making fun of me and terrorizing me. And it is.
Hmm.
How would it be for you, right? If on Christmas, when you were with your family, you had somebody standing in the background saying, wait, they already got a gift from that person a couple of months ago. You got to take that back to the store. Nope, nope, nope. See, mom gave you something last February. And so it's not right for her to be giving you something for Christmas now. No. Oh, no. See, you had to.
No, I think you're inventing this now, Mary, because none of what you just said makes any fucking sense at all. Okay? Gifts are meant to be gifts, and if someone wants to give you a gift, you can accept it. It's not somebody else's place to say, oh, you're not allowed to have a gift. Mary, that's bullshit.
Ask for $20 from dad a couple of months ago. So that means you don't deserve a present now. It's Christmas, you know? You can't be getting gifts from people who have been giving you things all year long.
No, I think the reason why they're not going to give you any money is because they know that you're going to waste it on drugs.
That's not right. That's not right, right?
They'll give you all the food in the world. They'll give you, I'm sure that if they took you to a grocery store, they would probably buy you like $500 worth of food, but you wouldn't accept it. You would say, "Well, why can't you give me $500 cash?"
Y'all have to stop people from donating to my Christmas because you're afraid that some of them might have donated to me before. But you have no fear of somebody showing up at your Christmas and saying, hey, you can't have any of those gifts because some of your family members helped you out earlier in the year. And so that means that you aren't deserving of any gifts. Sorry.
No, I call bullshit on that. That no, none of what she said makes any sense. That you know you can't get any gifts because of receiving a gift 10 months earlier. Fuck are you talking about, Mary?
Bunny rabbit.
Aw, bunny.
Bunny, bunny. I have never seen a rabbit in this area.
Yeah. I can understand why she's trying to put out some good content, and I think this is probably the one good video that she's put out today.
It must have escaped from someplace.
No, rabbits will go wild. It's just, like the story of mice and men. Rabbits are very wild in California. You can raise them.
Oh, where'd it go? It's so fast. Oh, there it goes. Bunny, bunny. If you come to me, I'll make you my pet.
I know, I know it's tempting, Mary, but just you know what? Let the bunny be a bunny. Don't try to capture the bunny and make it your friend, because what you would be doing to the bunny would be tormenting it, because you would basically lock it in a cage and force it to eat food pellets, which you really couldn't afford. Um, Kimber had a bunny. Remember? Remember Kimber? Yeah, everybody remembers Kimber. She had a bunny and kept the thing in a very small cage, and this was a pretty large bunny, and the damn thing is just covered in its piss and its shit all day, and that's not a life for any kind of bunny. Mary, I know you want to help this bunny, but it's a wild animal. It's not it's not meant to be your pet, okay? I mean, if it's a cat, I would understand that. Yeah. Well, I don't know if she'd kill it in a day. I mean, she wouldn't be able to take care of it. This is the problem. She wouldn't know how to feed it. She'd feed it all the wrong things.
And I'll love you forever.
That's why. Yeah, she wants something to love,
But I know he's not going to come to me.
because he's a wild animal, Mary. Leave the bunny be. Just don't try to interfere with the bunny's life, because you might be removing him from a bunny family. He might have like his little hutch nearby, and
I'm so worried about him because it's clearly a pet. Look how well groomed he is.
well, then if that's the case, then it's the pet owner's responsibility, Mary. So just leave it be.
Oh, well, I don't know if y'all can see how well groomed he is in this light.
It's probably just the fact that he's just a smooth hair bunny.
He's beautiful.
He is.
Or she. I don't mean to misgender it.
Oh lordy. Um, don't be worried about misgendering a bunny, Adrasdea. It's not as if the bunny cares. All right. You think Bugs Bunny cared about being misgendered? My God, Bugs Bunny was like gender fluid. Yeah, Bugs Bunny really was gender fluid if you think about it. Yeah. So, oh no 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 no, we're not going back into that. Okay. Um, what's our next slate? Yeah, we got three more JRC3 videos today from after my live stream earlier. So he doesn't like to slow down either, apparently. So let's go back into our video land player and open up folder. Tell you what, JRC, you just you just love providing me with
Okay,
content. Just love providing me with this content, don't you? Yeah, we needed this change of pace because, god damn it, Adrasdea, you really brought me fucking down with that bunny video. I thought it was gonna be good content. I'm sorry. Anyway, you know what'll lift your spirits up? I think this is a good opportunity. Visit cbdx.com, and if you use promo codes AP or ROTC or 44420 or Virgie with two Ys, you get 20% off of your order. You also get a free gift and priority shipping on any order that's over $80. cbdx.com carries disposable vape cartridges, moon rocks, gummies, carries flour, and dabs. CBDX.com is legal in all 50 states, and it is not like that gas station CBD. It will get you lifted. CBDX.com. And now back to James Robert Clark III.
Okay, so I'm going to try and reason with you a little bit more. I think if I talk more calmly and let you understand that, there's a James in here that can talk like James used to talk before.
A James in here that can talk like James used to talk. He's going inward now. It's like if you put two mirrors together and you start looking into those two mirrors and you start looking into infinity. He's starting to kind of regress a little bit, I'd say, but he's really starting to get affected by our reaction videos to him.
Before James went crazy.
This is perfect. You know what? I'm gonna back the ship and JJ start recording.
Okay, so I'm going to try and reason with you a little bit more. I think if I talk more calmly and let you understand that, there's a James in here that can talk like James used to talk before James went crazy. It might help you understand that, I'm still the same guy that you used to know back
Yeah, you're still the same guy that she used to know 7 years ago. A creepy stalker.
when we were friends.
You were never friends.
Okay? So, what you need to understand is one of the reasons I got so crazy was because I didn't know what to believe with you. You seemed to be contributing in a campaign of disinformation, and then I did realize it seemed to be because you're angry at me because they lied to you about stuff.
How did they lie to you, James? Or how did they lie to her, rather? How exactly? Because if anything, they didn't say anything to Eliana. Okay, James? She told them all about you, and she told them the truth about you.
That does seem to be what it is. What I want you to understand is, why did I get so crazy angry? Well, you have to understand, what they were doing is they were rubbing in my face that they could say sexual things about you and sexual things about your body and things of that nature, and I couldn't say anything about you because you didn't like me and you wanted me to kill myself.
James, when you gave that little opening line to Eliana, which was basically to, boiled down to, I feel suicidal, please help me, that's not the opening line that you use to pick up women, James. Okay?
They would reiterate that constantly that you wanted me to kill myself.
And it occurred to me earlier tonight, in between, my last stream and tonight and this stream, that the reason Eliana was so exasperated that she told you to kill yourself was because you kept rubbing it in her face that you were going to say, well, don't you want me to kill myself? Or don't you want me to not kill myself or something like that? And then she's like, she's so exasperated with you and your bullshit. She's like, whatever. Do whatever you're doing, man. I don't care anymore.
Which I understand you said out of anger and frustration.
Oh, because you frustrated her. You made her angry.
I understand that. I know you don't want anything bad to happen to me. I know that. You have to recognize that I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Remove don't from what he just said.
Okay? So they would keep reiterating that, you wanted me to kill myself. They would refer to your breasts as Argentine milkies.
Argentinian milkies, James.
Or actually, they don't know the word Argentine. I forgot. Argentinian milkies.
Thank you! My God, you're finally learning, James.
They would refer to your body in derogatory ways. They refer to your phenotype in a derogatory, racist way.
Nobody's involved JF Garrity in any of this, James. Please, stop.
they're just not very nice people, and they would keep rubbing it in my face.
Oh, this is wounded narcissism again because he's not getting his way. Everyone who's telling him why he's not getting his way is not nice to him.
We can say these things about her and you can't. We can say these things about her and you can't. To get me angry, okay? It's basic schoolyard bullying. You know what I mean? But
Basic schoolyard bullying, like you calling Royce Lopez the things that you call him.
it's worse because I love you, okay? On top of that, the videos. You know, I make videos about you telling you how much I love you, how much I care about you, how much I want to be with you. And yeah, when I would get frustrated at the trolls that were calling themselves things like Chimichanga Chimmy and Antonio Sanchez and Eliana's Taco, who's still around doing many things, harassing other people now. You know, these people, they do these things, and what it would do is it would get me angry because they would claim to be your family, and they'd claim they were going to hurt me if I came down to see you, and they claimed this, and they claimed that, and they claimed.
No, James, again, nobody's made any threats to you. You're inventing bullshit. Now, Adrasdea, when she had that happen to her in March from Dark Ninja, she actually saved that comment and she showed it to the world. You don't have anything to show us except, just lies.
I just needed to leave you alone even after you told me you were childless and single. And I thought the reason that you stopped talking to me after you said you were childless and single is I thought somebody was scaring you. Okay, and it probably was me now that I'm looking back because I was acting like a maniac. But the
What do you mean what do you mean you were acting like a maniac, James? You were a maniac. You still are a maniac, okay?
reason I was acting like a maniac is I didn't like these people saying these things about you. And yeah, I said a lot of things too. Because you know me, if somebody drops a bar so low, I'll go even lower.
Hmm. Okay, so you don't know how to walk away from verbal fights. You don't know how to walk away from someone who's challenging you and, making all kinds of verbal insults to you. You just have to, try to, sink lower and lower as low as you can.
And lower and lower. I'm still James.
Are you still James if you're doing that?
I'm still me. And I can go very low, but it doesn't mean that I mean you any harm or that I'm doing it on purpose. I'm doing it
Remove doesn't from what he just said.
because I want to show people, you want to be a disgusting pig, you ain't met nothing yet until you met me. But the point
Oh, that's more of his, living by cliches philosophy. He wants, he wants to live everything in his life as a cliche.
is, I love you and I care about you, and that's what that was about.
He keeps throwing love and care like it's magical incantations to him, and it's gonna make Eliana just turn to you, James. No, it doesn't work like that.
But to go further, you're upset about my videos, okay? You're upset about my videos. You're not upset about all these other videos about us online. You're not upset about a gentleman that recorded himself masturbating to you. Okay, now I might do that on a daily basis, just joking. Or am I? My joke, okay. So my point.
Stop making creepy jokes like this, James. This is not helping your case, okay? Why do you make creepy jokes like that? You don't know how to sync up your brain with the mouth, and if you thought 10 seconds ahead even about what you were going to say, that's why the FCC has a 7-second dump delay. If you thought 10 seconds ahead about what you're going to say and how it might impact other people, you would stop saying those things, James.
Is even if I did do that, and I think you know because I think I told you privately, but the point is I'm not making a video of it and putting it on YouTube.
What are all these then, James? What is all this that we're reviewing of you, James, if not you making a video and posting it to YouTube?
Okay? That's a big difference. You get what I'm saying? And to go further, there's a whole clothing line about us
Oh, you're going off about the clothing line that doesn't make a penny
with my likeness on it.
with your likeness on it. Hang on a second. You know what? He's so intent about this. He really wants to see that clothing line. To tell you the truth, I kind of want to see how it's doing myself. I haven't been there in a while, but I guarantee you. Hey, how about that? Let me show the world, James. I'm going to show the world exactly what your clothing line has done for me. Okay? Here, I gotta bring this up here because Streamlabs is being a bitch today. Oh, Jesus. Oh, why do this? There we go. All right, James, you want to see what your clothing line got? Let's take a look at this. Hmm? How about that, James? A wild Galena appeared. 0 sold. Hey, Galena. 0 sold. How about that, James? Your clothing line doesn't sell anything, James. Nobody wants to buy your likeness. And if you knew and if you understood what name, image, likeness really was, you would ask to take those down, and I would, James, but you're too stupid. James. James. For God's sakes, just learn to grow up, all right? Hi, gives me a headache. But you know, this all is all about me trying to expose you for the fraud that you are, James. Everybody knows you're a fraud. I mean, look at you. You look like you could do Shaggy cosplay without even trying.
If you Google me, it says I'm a freaking pedophile, which I've never been a pedophile in my whole life.
Why do you keep narrowing your range of, wanting a single woman between 18 to 21 years old? Why is it those 3 years so crucial to you, James?
I'm not a pedophile. I'm not some kind of like crazed stalker. I have a friend that I care about, and she's been convinced that I'm stalking her, but I'm not. If anybody's stalking anybody in this situation, it's them stalking me.
I wondered for a moment, was he talking about Eliana as his friend, or is he talking about somebody else that he's stalking?
The reason that nobody's letting you on their shows, assuming this gentleman is your fiance, I don't think he is your fiance, or at least I hope to God he's not.
James, did you just do a Hail Mary sign of the cross thing? Did you just do that? Because, let's see. A few days ago, you were asking Satan to grant your wish because God wouldn't grant it to you. And now you're turning back to God because Satan won't grant your wish either. James, you are stupid beyond belief.
But if this gentleman is your fiance, the reason they're not letting you on the shows is they don't care about you anymore because they thought they were going to get a piece of you, and they're not going to. And they're too wimpy to live down what they said. All the sexual garbage they said about you over the year, or not over the years, over the past couple months.
He's confusing his own harassment from Daywave and AP, what he considers to be his harassment. That they're harassing me. He's mixing that with his 7 years of harassing Eliana. So he's kind of starting to get a little jumbled thinking here. These react videos are starting to affect him.
About your breasts and about your body and about all that. They're not going to say that in front of him. Okay, I would because I'm me, but I wouldn't say it publicly anyway. I would only say it to you privately, honestly. If you wanted to hear it, you know how I am privately versus publicly.
Oh, how you are publicly versus how you are privately. Let's see. How you are privately must be that, why won't you love me, Eliana? I will make your life a living hell if you don't love me. I can reward you. I can do all these good things for you, but if you don't love me, I can punish you beyond belief. Is that what you're talking about in private, James? Is that the private side that you show to Eliana? Hmm?
Okay, and I try to keep things like that private between the young lady that I'm talking to and myself. Um, but no, I mean, the reason they don't want you on their shows anymore, except maybe Hatman, because I think he's homosexual and has a crush on me.
Oh, you wish that Hatman had a crush on you. And how do you come to this false assumption that Hatman is gay? Is it because of the opening song that he uses, "Life at the Outpost"? Is that it? It's just a song. You don't associate a song with a person's gender, sexuality, James.
But the reason they don't want you on their shows anymore is simply because they know they can't get with you. Do you understand that? They were using you to get me angry. They were trying to keep us apart. Now they don't have a reason to keep us apart because they can't get you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, me on the other hand, I don't give a damn if this guy's your fiance. I don't give a damn if Lou Ferrigno's your fiance. I don't care if Mike Tyson's your fiance. If I think somebody's bad for you, I'll say it. And I'm actually a big fan of Mike Tyson. But regardless, I don't think Mike Tyson is right for you.
Is it because he's a boxing American, James?
And God willing, I would say so. But the point is, I'm not afraid to say what I think is best for you. Okay? I never will be afraid to say what I think is best for you.
You know who else is a boxing American? Andy Worski. Well, no, wait a minute. No, he's boxing Canadian. And yeah, he's boxing this Sunday, so yeah. But Sam Stutler is definitely a boxing American, James.
Okay? I don't want you having panic attacks. I don't want you getting so horribly upset
Remove "don't" from what he just said.
about this. I don't really think this situation included you in the beginning. I think it was all about me. And it goes back many years. Okay? I think that they used you against me. I think they filled your mind with a bunch of hogwash. I think is that a saying down there? They filled your mind with a bunch of lies. And they made you, if they did make you do things that, you know, whatever, if they made you take legal action against me, we'll take care of that. Or I'll take care of that. I'll fight it and I'll win most
No, you won't win. You will not win, James.
likely. I have no problem with you as a person. I'm sorry that you're upset. Okay? So I do sound a bit animated. I'm not angry. I want to reiterate that I'm not angry. I get animated because it's just so ridiculous. But you have to understand, there's a whole clothing line with our names on it that they're making money off of. They're making money off of us, and then I see you going, I hope you made a whole bunch of money off of this. How am I supposed to take that? To me, that's you trying to rile me up for them so that they can make more money off of us. Okay? That's how I took it. And then it got to the point where I'm like, okay, she just betrayed me completely. She just flat out betrayed me, and she doesn't care about me. All she cares about is, Royce Lopez and making money, and not even you making money, but helping him make money, and clam slamming and flirting with Miss Whiplash and all this crap. And actually, I did not know Miss Whiplash was the husky-voiced young lady from Hatman. Yeah, I'm not interested in any woman with a voice that husky.
What's wrong with husky voiced women, James? Hmm? What's wrong with them? They're women. Don't they meet your definition of being women? Don't they have that extra third hole? Don't they have the slot B instead of the tab A that you have, James?
And after the Galina thing, where they pretended to be a Russian girl, they also pretended to be you. And I had those emails posted in my community tab, but I took them down when I started cleaning up my community tab. And I'll give them to you. I will give you those emails.
Please don't, James. Do not give Eliana those emails. Because if Eliana sees those emails, they're exactly like the emails that you sent to her 7 years ago, James. This is not helping your case, okay? Stop doing these things.
So if that wasn't you, I think it was you, but if it wasn't you, and they were saying these terrible, hurtful things towards me to make me angry at you, these are the kind of people they are. These are the kind of people they are. They're trying to make me angry at you so they can make more money off of my reactions. They're
Yeah, Jake Paul would technically be a boxing American. That's exactly the point. James, you don't want to go up against boxing Americans, okay?
not going to do it. They're not going to do it. My love for you is the strongest thing in nature. It is. Nothing can make me stop loving you.
No. No, James, we will make you stop loving Eliana because we will break you of this addiction.
The only thing, I mean, I might not be able to express my love for you because you don't want my love, but the truth is, nothing can make me stop loving you. Nothing can make me say that I don't love you because I do love you. I have loved you for 7 years now. I loved you from the moment I saw you. I don't even know why.
Oh, Maureen, you know what? You're free to come into the voice chat. Please, let's. Yes, I'm. Maureen says, "You lying sack of shit. You know that Miss Whiplash was on Hatman and her voice isn't husky." Yeah, exactly, James. Exactly. That's it. Anyone who wants to come in, join us on Discord. There we go. Join us on Discord, or if you want to follow us on Twitter, and again, visit cbdx.com. You get, use promo codes AP, ROTC 44420, or Virgie with two Y's at the end. You get 20% off your order. You get a free gift. You also get priority shipping on any order that's over $80. CBDX.com carries the disposable cartridges, carries the moon rocks, gummies, carries flour, carries dabs, and CBDX.com is legal in all 50 states. It will get you high. It is not the gas station quality CBD. CBDX.com gets you lifted. Now back to more JRC3.
Why? Okay? And every conversation we had, every word we spoke to each other, everything made me love you more. Everything made me love you more and more and more. And factually speaking, if we survive this, all that proves is that, I didn't misplace my love.
Stop using words like "if we survive this," because you know what? She's long since passed you, James. You're, for one thing, you are completely on your own on this. You're not together with her. She's going to survive this, but you won't.
If we don't survive this, my love was misplaced, but it's not going to go away because I can't. I can't stop loving you. I've tried. Okay, I've tried to stop loving you. That's the truth. I can't stop loving you.
Yes, you can, James. It's easier than you think.
Why, I don't know, and I don't care. It's just something that is. Do you remember I gave you a speech about how true love is a lie and I don't believe in true love and blah 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 blah? Well, maybe it's not a lie, and maybe I found my true love, and maybe ironically, somebody like me that doesn't believe in true love or doesn't even I didn't even believe in love before I started talking to you. Maybe somebody like me is just cursed to know the person that he's meant to be with and can't be with her.
Stop pretending that you're Quasimodo, okay, James? This is bullshit. You latching on to Eliana, thousands of miles away. You know you can't be with her. There's plenty of other women who look similar to Eliana who are much closer to you, James. Why can't you be with one of those people? Oh, right, because you repulse the shit out of them.
Maybe that is the irony of reality. Maybe that is the reality of the of life. Maybe we're never meant to be with the person we love. Maybe the person we're meant to love is meant to make us sick.
No, that's not love, James. You're talking misery. You're confusing love and misery again. Love isn't supposed to make you sick or miserable. Love is supposed to make you happy.
To make us uh, feel miserable
He's trying to use it as a martyr complex.
by not being able to have them in our lives. Maybe that's the reality of life. I don't know. But the truth is, I love you no matter what. I will always love you. I have loved you since I known you existed.
That's actually good to know. Thank you, Auntie Green. So not legal in 14 states. I thought they were saying that it was. Eef. Wow. I might have to kind of clear that up in the editor, but cbdx.com. If you're watching this, please send me a copy in my Twitter direct messages, okay? So that I don't have to go out here winging it and making myself look like an idiot.
And the truth of the matter is, please don't be afraid of me. Please don't be afraid of me. If you don't want to see me,
Remove "don't" from what he just said. Please be afraid of me.
you'll never see me. If you don't want to talk to me, you'll never talk to me. Okay? But you don't need to be afraid of me. You never did. You never will.
Remove never from what he just said. You did, and you will.
I do want you to understand, though, that these people, the Daywave people, and all these people that say these terrible, sexually explicit things about you, they're bad people. Look at how they treat people like Mary, or Adrasdea, as she's called sometimes. Look at how they treat the gentleman E.I. Brandon. Look at how they treat me. Okay?
No, James. James, you can't go playing the pity card on this when you've been doing this for 7 years and you just creep Eliana out for every day of those 7 years, for every hour of every of those days.
That's not a
I'm surprised
normal
she's
way
as
to treat.
strong as she is. Hi.
Hi, Maureen. How are you? Yeah, I am.
I'm good. How are you?
I am very surprised that Eliana has been able to put up with it for this long. But thankfully,
No.
I was rewatching her interview on Daywave with the episode International Incident, and now that she's been able to get out in public and bring attention to this, I can tell that this is a weight that's lifting off of her shoulders finally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
mean, I think.
it's crushing James because now
Oh yeah.
all this attention is going towards him. He doesn't like it.
And I think there's a reason she kept the now fiance
Mm-hmm.
secret from the internet for as long as she did.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a wise move. It was a very wise move on her part.
Yeah, because imagine if she had revealed to James the existence of the fiance years earlier, he would have probably taken to harassing the fiance just to
Oh yeah.
yeah. That's his thinking.
Yeah.
That's his mentality on that. So, hi, Bobcat. You want to come here and help?
Kitty.
Yeah, he's just woke up from his nap. He's getting
Aww.
ready to. I think he's getting ready to go get some food and some water. So okay,
Aww.
good kitty.
Okay.
He is. He looks almost like Louis. He's just a little shorter haired version of Mersh's cat Louis. Have you noticed? So
I saw him briefly. I
yeah,
think was it what I forget what day he popped on, but I did see him briefly.
probably like Friday night or something like that. Because
Yeah.
he
Like
whenever I'm doing these nighttime streams, he always loves to come here. He always likes to sit next to me. Sometimes he'll watch. He likes watching Adrasdea. He's like AP's cat Beavis. Beavis likes watching Adrasdea.
It's the train wreck they can't turn away from.
It must
One
be
of my sister's cats loves watching Virgie's background with the colors like the moving Rorschach. She's
Yeah.
enthralled by it.
Yeah. Sometimes what I'll do is, I'll play one of those videos, which is like close up right next to a bird feeder, and you'll see like squirrels and birds come up to it. And Bobcat, he will look real closely at the monitor, and he'll like, he's wanting to get those squirrelies. He loves squirrelies more than he loves birdies. So one of these days, I'd love to make a reaction video showing Bobcat doing that. But
my sister's other cat will sit at the back door and watch. They're both indoor cats.
Yeah,
and she'll watch all the animals like in their little backyard. And they have. My parents live in a suburb of our state's capital.
Yeah.
And because of Jim Bob, I ain't revealing that state no more.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
It's fairly populated, but they have bunnies in the backyard. Go figure.
Yeah.
One of them has my sister almost doxed her. Oops. My sister has a picture of one of the bunnies coming right up to the glass door, and the cat and the bunny are nose to nose, and the bunny's bigger than the cat.
Yeah. And the cat's like looking at going, what is this? Am I supposed
Pretty much.
Am I supposed to fight it or am I supposed to run? I don't know what to do.
I'm confused.
Yes.
But somewhat back on track.
Yeah.
Rachel has a question.
Go
now
ahead.
I know, like in the chat, she says, "I thought he had some long-term girlfriend before Eliana." I'm having a brain fart on the guy who comes on a lot too. ASDSS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know he had he had said something about this, and I have a slightly different opinion. I don't mean to like knock him or anything because he's
No,
the
it's all right.
professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right.
I don't think James claims to have had a girlfriend for 17 years that he coincidentally broke up with when he came across Eliana online.
Yeah, he's upgrading. He's trying to upgrade,
Yeah,
basically.
but
Yeah.
yeah, and here's the thing: he has never named the ex-girlfriend. No problem naming Eliana. No problem naming Galena, but he
Mhm.
won't name the this so-called ex-girlfriend. I think she's real, but I don't think they were ever in a relationship. I honestly think she was another stalking victim, and he was obsessed with her since they were teenagers, and I
Yeah,
honestly think there's some sort of court order in place, which is why he doesn't name her.
he
And because
definitely, he
yeah,
seems like he brings trouble wherever he goes, and
yeah,
he doesn't understand why he's bringing the trouble. He just
yeah.
he wants to be in a relationship so badly, so he
Mhm.
just pushes his will into every woman that he tries to meet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and all the stories he tells about playing like games with the son and raising her kid and everything. It's no, I honestly think it's all in his head. It's what he wanted and he imagined himself doing it. He never actually did it.
Yeah, did he do actual dad type things like, drive the kid to the hospital when he broke his arm or something like that? Did he do actual dad type things, or was he just trying to say, "Oh, I was a father because I played video games with my son."
Yeah.
I know plenty of people, who did that, and they were just basically there's one friend that me and Sam knew from back in Lexington, and he was kind of like James Robert Clark, but he just kind of developed this weird kind of internal nihilism to himself,
Mhm.
and he just got to the point where he did not care anymore. And when his wife was asking him for $15 so that she and the kids could go to the state fair, and he is just angry beyond belief because this is $15 worth of beer and cigarette money to him that he is having to give up. And we're looking at him like, dude, these are your kids. This is the state fair.
Yeah.
It's once a year. Come on.
Yeah.
You know.
Um, my last serious ex, he's divorced with 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
We thought it was going to be this is it, we're a forever thing. It obviously didn't. But after being together for 2 years, we started looking at buying a house that was going to be big enough for all 4 of us, even though they were only with us every other weekend. We wanted them to know that no matter what, they always had a home with us.
Right.
You know, I knit and crochet. I had a bad yarn buying habit. Even though these were not my kids, they were not my step kids because we weren't married.
Yeah.
I was making sacrifices to help give them a better life with us because that's what you do.
Right.
Yeah, and I hope I did this. I hope I did the right thing by just balancing the line of I'm not mom, I'm not even stepmom,
You're doing what you
but we're
can.
still we're still family kind of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
you're providing. You're doing what you can on that.
Yeah. So it's like you again, not even my stepkids, and I was making like we both were making sacrifices
Mhm.
for these kids. So like, come on, it was more than just taking the older son to like computer history museums and the daughter to Build a Bear.
Yeah, and it was weird because our friend back in Lexington, his 2 kids, the older son had autism, mental retardation, ADHD, and Asperger's syndrome, all rolled up into one. And this poor kid is just, so desperate for anyone to, pay attention to him. Um, the mom she has a hearing loss, and she's too busy in her Yahoo chat rooms all day, and the dad is too busy, playing his Xbox 2 or whatever, and
Mm.
he's too busy, just getting drunk and not caring. And the younger sister would torment the older brother, and it just caused that. um I'm kind of glad that that the family just kind of left that father behind, because he just was not doing anything to be a provider
Mhm.
for them, and they
Yeah.
ended up with she married somebody else, and now uh the kids are doing much better for themselves, but
Yeah.
it's been like years since we've heard anything from them. But It's just one of the things that James Robert Clark III. He is not the unique snowflake of special kind of crazy stalkers out there. He's just one of many. He's just he's just out there. The only reason we know about him is because he just makes these crazy videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
and when you have a chat room of approximately, well, a combined chat room between JJ's YouTube and D Live of approximately, at the time I was gonna say 50 to 60,
Mm-hmm.
all coming to the same conclusion on the very first day we covered him, that he has a problem.
Yeah.
That even whether or not this woman is real, his actions and his words scream stalker problem.
Do you remember the HBO show Rome? It was only on for 2 seasons, but it was
I
fantastically done.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it, but I think it was over and done with before I got HBO, so I never had a chance to watch it. And I keep forgetting to go back to watch it.
I'm sure that they have it on HBO Max, but
Oh yeah, probably.
Ray Stevenson plays the character Titus Pullo, which him and Lucius Marinus are the only two non-aristocratic Romans to be remembered in Roman history, basically, because of their heroic deeds. Titus Pullo is just basically a big, dumb, happy bull who loves to go out and fight. And when he's not out fighting, he loves to gamble, he loves to drink, he loves to get women. He's and then he rescues a slave named Irene, and he falls in love instantly with Irene and brings her back to Lucius Varenus's house in Rome, and where where Irene becomes kind of a part of Lucius Varenus's household, and they kind of adopt her, and they buy her out of and they free her from being a slave. Well, when Titus Pullo comes back after a year, and he's so happy because he wants to be with Irene because he feels like he's going to marry her. And then Irene comes and says, "Oh, this is my husband. We are so happy that you have bought us our freedom." And he snaps. He kills her husband, like right there in front of everybody. He just snaps and kills her husband. And Lucius Varenus is like, "Why did you do this, Pullo? You can't do this. This is not what This is not what being this is not what civilized people do, kind of thing." And Pullo acts more out of his impulses and his desires than he is of any kind of logical thought. He should he was so he was so in love with his rescued slave Irene that he didn't realize that Irene was in love with somebody else, and he took that love away from her. And the rest of the whole series, he's kind of going through this kind of weird redemption arc with Irene because he has to explain to her that he's sorry for what he did. He can't take back what he did, but and he's just this is kind of what JRC3 does. I mean, if he, if you put him in a room with Eliana and her fiance, I don't think that I don't think that he would remain calm for very long. He would be the
Oh, no.
type to resort to physical violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I is it and I think I turn you and Virgie on as I'm going to sleep because I need the don't take this the wrong way. I need the white noise, and I'm just old, and I'm
Oh
on
no,
East
you're
Coast
fine.
time.
You're fine.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm a boomer
But
too. Don't worry about it.
I wake up and I hear snippets of the show in the middle of the night,
Hmm.
and I heard ASDSS say something about how he doesn't think James would be violent like the gymnast
Right.
stalker.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not the professional he is, but I do disagree. Just his outbursts of anger in these videos, I really do feel that if he got focused on an American girl, especially somebody in Pennsylvania, she would have disappeared very quickly by
Oh,
then.
easily. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the kind that would have
He's
probably.
that type.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy I dated like 10 years ago who started stalking me, even though he was quiet, reserved, he never showed anger, but there was something in his words and his
Mhm.
controlling behavior.
Yep.
He tried to control me, didn't work. You know, he fucked around and found out.
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it in little bitty increments. I bet, didn't he?
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
saw the increments right away.
Yeah.
Because Mama taught me well. But I could see in his eyes if it got bad and I really defied him, I was gonna end up disappeared.
Yeah.
So like
Mhm.
I ended it very quickly. And it was 6 months later he was like he was doing like James begging for me to come back. I was getting harassing phone calls and harassing emails,
Mhm.
just begging. And then I lived at the time 60 miles from him in another state with a large natural boundary in between. And he showed up one night at my apartment after driving the 60 miles
Thank you, buddy.
to beg for me to come back. And I wouldn't let him in. Took me 15 minutes to get him to leave, and I had to threaten him with the restraining order.
Yeah.
But I was really scared he wasn't going to go and something bad was going to happen. So like I had to lock down like Eliana did, lock down all my social media accounts.
Mhm.
Because we had a mutual friend at my job at the time. I had to go to security and say, I'm probably making a mountain out of a molehill, but this is the situation. He showed up out of the blue last night after 6 months of not talking.
Right.
I want to put him on the do not allow into the building list. I had to talk to HR in case he ever decided to apply for a job and be like, he's not allowed to work here. Like, do I need to go get a restraining order to make this happen? Like, I don't want him here. I'm scared. So he never made contact again, but for the next 2 years, I'm pretty sure I saw his car driving up and down the street a couple times.
Oh yeah, he's holding on to that, and he's probably
Yeah.
holding on to any communications like screenshots or any kind of chat logs or anything like that because they're the love letters to him. Yeah,
Oh yes,
he
yeah. There's the bobcat. Oh, he's so cute.
yeah, he is. Hi, Bobcat.
I'm a cat person.
He's my rescue kitty of 12 years. So
Aw.
going
Yeah.
on 13 next year.
Oh,
So yeah.
oh, that's what my sister's cats are.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and continue this video.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
sorry,
we'll
like
be talking all night.
this is
So
why it's dangerous having me on because
I
I will
know.
derail
Hey,
everything.
I like it. I like it because it lengthens the stream so that YouTube can squeeze more ads into them.
There you
That way,
go.
it gets me closer to that truck. After all,
And it does bring like
yeah.
Beat somebody.
it takes us it brings us back from the darkness that is James.
Yes, it does. It does.
I do wish that in the beginning you reached out to me privately. If you and your fiance want to reach out to me on WhatsApp, I don't give a damn. Okay, I don't give a damn. You can reach out to me. I'm not stopping anybody
Oh, I
from
can't hear
talking.
him.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me. I'm gonna fix that in my Discord here. I'm sorry, because
Yeah, I'm
I
like
don't. Yeah,
you're
because
not screen sharing, but I'm like, oh, I've got it up on my laptop, but it's muted.
derp.
Like,
I'm sorry about that. Derp.
it's okay. I thought maybe I'd hear it there, even though you weren't screen sharing. I was wrong.
There we go. I'm sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, thank you.
Boomer moment. Sorry about that.
To me. Okay? I'm not afraid of anybody. That's what I think screwed them up. They thought they're going to intimidate me, tell me I'm banned from this country, which was a lie, tell me I can't
Nope.
do this, which was a
Oh, James, if I get Matthew Harper Jones of Kentucky Sports Radio involved in this, you are definitely not going to Argentina because the first person he's going to call is going to be is going to be our state's is his state senator. He's going to call Rand Paul. He's going to call Mitch McConnell. And he's going to say, "Hey, call up the State Department, have him Google search James Robert Clark III, and make sure that he's travel restricted to the United States, please."
lie. Okay?
Yep.
And I know you don't hate me. I know you don't hate me. And I know you're not indifferent towards me.
remove don't from what he just said. You know what I mean, Marine?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, well, that's a lot of denial.
Yeah, that's a lot of denial, James.
Yeah.
Okay? The reason I know you're not indifferent towards me, if you were indifferent towards me, this wouldn't be bothering you. Okay?
You scared the
And
fucking shit out of her.
He did. He scared the shit out of her probably like 2 weeks into this bullshit relationship that he keeps thinking that he
Oh
has
yeah,
with her. Yeah. He just
yeah.
soon as she started talking normal to him, as soon as she stopped, with, like, okay, so you're not suicidal anymore. Okay, that's good. Are you getting help? Are you getting treatment? Is everything okay with you? Okay, good. And he's like, yeah, everything's better. Oh, so show us your tits. Oh, so don't you want to be with me? Oh, come on. I'm a hot American. Don't you want to be with me so we can breed together? That's exactly his philosophy.
It's sickening.
Mm-hmm. I mean, uh, God, I can't. That's like the worst way to pick up women is to just pretend that you're
Okay.
suicidal.
as I
It's
said,
it's a
It's
turn off.
it's a huge turnoff. It's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
um
when I come
My
down and
struggle
I
never got there. It was, when are you cutting your hair? Okay, we're done here.
yeah.
plan on coming down, I will be staying quite a distance away from you on purpose so we don't accidentally see each other.
Oh, yeah, he's giving that hint because yeah, he's probably got her, address. He knows where she lives, so he's going to be waiting for her hidden in the
Mhm.
bushes.
Oh yeah.
She won't see him, of course, but he'll see her. So that's his plan.
The
Yeah.
only way we're going to see each other is if you choose to see me.
Or if you burn the shrubberies that he's hiding in, that yeah.
And if you choose to bring people with you to see me. I'm not trying to get you alone. You remember that back from when we were friends when I wanted to.
Remove not from what he just said. He's trying to get her
Yeah.
alone. Yeah, that's exactly
He is.
his plan.
He's
Yeah, he
he's
doesn't
trying to
care.
get well.
Yeah, he doesn't care. I'm not trying to get you alone in public, but eventually I'll try to get you alone.
Yeah. He's
Sometime. Yeah, that.
he's if he ever by some nightmare gets down there, he's going to disappear her.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's never going to happen. Like I said,
Yeah.
I will do everything in my power,
I know.
James Robert Clark III. I will do everything in my power. Look at me, James. I'm looking in right into the camera. I'm looking right into your eyes, James. Okay? I will make sure that you are never allowed to leave the United States. I promise you this, James. I promise you this. The moment that you realize that my promise has come true, James, you will break down sobbing in the airport
Yeah.
because I will have taken away Eliana forever from you.
Come down to see you. I suggested that we meet in public. I suggested that you bring people to meet me, preferably family. But
You were also asking if Eliana had any hot friends that she knew that she could hook you up with.
or friends or something, and I preferred that everything was set to make you as comfortable as possible because your comfort is my
False
primary
sense of security.
Exactly. Yeah. He's trying to just lure
Get her,
her
drop her
in.
guard.
Yeah, just try to do whatever he can, say whatever words it takes to get her to drop her
Yeah.
guard. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, James, dipshit. Because if you're not watching now, you'll probably be watching the replay later.
Hey, wait a minute. I can turn you on if you want to put your camera on. Wait, give me a moment.
Oh, no,
Oh, you don't want
no.
no camera?
I don't
Okay.
face reveal. I don't face reveal.
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
No,
Never
I'm
mind.
just saying.
I was doing
No,
it
no,
for
no.
Sam earlier because he considers us all fat asses, and I wanted to show Sam
Yeah,
how dangerously underweight he is.
no,
But go
no.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't know.
Never
I
mind.
don't want to know what no, no. It was more like if he hears this. Oh, great! Now I lost my thought. I'm sorry.
No, I mean I was staring into the camera because
Oh,
James just stares into the camera like he's
yeah.
staring into your soul with those dead cow eyes that he has. So I was trying to
No.
stare back into him just to try to tell him that I'm serious about him not leaving the United States. That is, but
Yeah.
okay, go
No,
ahead.
I'm not ready to face reveal yet.
No.
I was getting because I do stuff with Winning TV and Frozen. I
Mhm.
go on the Sunday night shit show with Frozen,
Yeah.
and I was getting ready to do the big old. I was really thinking about doing the big old face reveal, but then we found him, and I'm like, nope, not happening. Not happening now. But it came back. The lazy Susan came back around. James, Eliana is not 19 anymore. She's not 21. She's 26. She has grown. She has matured. She has smartened up. You cannot, and she's also a very strong person, even when she was 19, 20. She was strong enough to know then that you were bad news and a problem, and did everything she could to block you and try to ignore you and keep you out of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Now that she is older at 26, she's even stronger. This whole lulling her into a false sense of security, oh, you can bring people, we can meet in public, that's not going to work. She is too smart and too strong for that. So just knock it off.
Yeah, she sees through this manipulation,
Yeah.
James. It's pathetic. It's become so pathetic at this point that it's predictably pathetic
Yeah.
from him. And I guarantee the next 3 videos that he makes, he'll just keep on saying,
Oh yeah.
you can bring whoever you want, Eliana. I
Yeah.
promise nothing will happen to you. I promise
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get you alone. The same thing. He
Yeah.
doesn't get it. He keeps
Yeah.
expecting that Eliana's watching these videos. No, she's watching our react videos because she's watching us pick the shit out of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And it's twofold because you can watch us pick the shit out of them
Mm-hmm.
and get her laughs for the day.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, be forewarned to get the information she needs.
Yeah.
But also she has us to, even though it's a react video and she may not always be watching live, even if it's a replay, she has us to lean on while she's watching, even though she can't interact with any of us at that time. And that probably helps her big time.
Plus, we also catch some of the JRC videos that he makes private afterwards, so he can't escape from his
Oh yeah.
videos this easily.
Oh
So
no.
yeah.
He doesn't understand what bots and download and automated downloaders are. Somebody, I
Mm-hmm.
think she's an AP server. She has a downloader that will download the videos, not necessarily when her computer's off, but at least when she's not around. It'll download them automatically.
They'll
She
just
doesn't have
wait.
to look out for it.
It'll schedule a time, and they'll just wait. And it's like, okay, yeah. But I think
Yeah.
Hatman's got one that just grabs them as soon as they're up.
Yeah.
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 So,
Apparently the bot just grabs them, but I don't know if it downloads them all the time. That's how I know when these people upload. I just checked Hatman's Discord. It's like, oh, they have a new video.
I catch them. I use a manual downloader. As soon as I see Adrasdea or James putting up a video, I download it because there's always that chance that they're going to come back 10 minutes later and say, oh, you know what, I don't want that video going out because of the trolls, and it's too late at that point. I've
And
grabbed the video. So
Mary has done that. The video where from about 4 or 5 months ago, she got so angry, and her exact words were, "Oh," and this is about Roberta's murder. There were only 3 people who know what happened that night, and they were in the house, or there were only 3 people in the house that night who know what happened.
I think she was saying like
So
her, Kenneth, and God, right, or something like that.
her Kenneth and Roberta.
Roberta, yeah.
She admitted to being in the house when it went down.
And she's keeping a teddy bear that's soaked in blood.
Yeah.
That's...
Well, that's we wonder about the truth about that, because if Roberta was strangled.
Yeah.
There may or may not have been that much blood.
Which it took a long time, longer than what television and movies make it out to be. It takes a long time because there's always the hesitation when you're, doing that, because the human mind is not programmed to necessarily kill so easily.
Yeah. So, but the point is that video went up. AP and Hatman grabbed it. Within 10 minutes, it was deleted because she realized she fucked up and admitted to being in the house.
Yeah,
that's not necessarily in the room, but she admitted to being in the house.
And the thing about Mary is that she just will not face that dark chapter of her life down. She continues to just say, "Oh, well, I'm being harassed. I'm being manipulated."
Oh
No, the only one manipulating
yeah,
Mary is herself right now because
yeah.
she just wants to live a life of pity donations and grifts
Oh yeah.
and not doing anything and prostituting herself for weed,
Oh,
which is
she doesn't understand, like back to her earlier videos, because I was reading badly in the chat.
mhm,
It's not that you don't deserve, it isn't that, oh, we don't want you having money. It's not just you, it's because there are more, it's more than just you in this world who do this, Mary.
mhm.
People who grift and don't lift a finger to help themselves or get a job and better themselves. And it is just my opinion, and I know some people are going to disagree with me and hate me because it is a harsh opinion. But those who live like Mary, who want to live on the government's dime when they are perfectly capable of working and not fix themselves and not work, do not deserve donations from kind-hearted people. I just don't think they do. Like
Yeah,
there's people in my life who've fallen on hard times and have been trying to claw themselves out. I do whatever I can monetarily to help them. I'll support them, make dinner for them. I'll do whatever I can to help them get back on their feet.
I guarantee that
Because they're trying.
What Adrasdea probably does is when she pity donations or pity grifts for donations on Facebook, is that she has a list of friends, and as soon as her friends stop sending her money and start sending her messages like, "Well, you need to get a job, Mary. You need to start, making your life better. Stop living off of donations." She'll turn around and block them because
She
they're
does. Oh no, she does.
yeah,
We have there are there have been people in the past, and there may or may not be people there now who are on her friends list,
yeah,
who are us. And she knows it. She just doesn't know who they are.
yeah.
And she goes in circles asking, like she'll go and she'll ask this group for a couple times, and when they dry up she'll move on to a next like list of people on her friends list, and so on until it dries up.
At least put out a Teespring, Mary. Put out an actual product on an actual website that people could buy legitimately, and that way you're actually doing something productive. You're not having to shame people into giving you money.
And like I will be fair here, because I said last week, I hate her, but that bunny video was actually kind of cute. And
And
if she had
and
done
it
that
was
live,
heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking too at the same
yeah,
time.
that
Yeah.
that bunny, yeah, that like I know I my sister had a pet bunny, and my
Mhm.
parents, like I said, have the wild bunnies in the backyard. There is a difference between a domesticated bunny and wild bunnies, and that was a domesticated bunny.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
it may have turned wild, but it got out of its enclosure.
yeah, a
But
domesticated bunny probably would have let Adrastea come up to it. So,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe I don't know, maybe not. Like I like Chris. Damn it, I did it again. My sister's bunny, like she, it would let my sister pet her, but it was kind of with me.
Yeah.
So, who knows? And I don't know. I don't know that much about bunnies. But anyway, if she had done that live and wasn't such a horrible person who blames everybody but herself for her problems and her choices, she could have made a couple of bucks from that video.
Easily. Yeah, I mean, just
You know?
focus on the bunny videos and less on the "they're everybody's out to get me" videos, and Mary will start to see that she's got new friends who are actually helping her. So,
And and I know, like, it's easier said than done because she has no money,
mhm.
but you might want to go get a better therapist. And oh my God, shocker! Use your general relief money and pay out of pocket for a therapist who will help you go deal with what happened in your past and get over it, move on, and be a better person.
That's all you have to do, Mary. That's really
Yeah,
all you have to do. So, all right,
and
I was gonna go
yeah,
back
so
to the James video here,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah,
So, all
we
right,
digress.
that's all right.
Concern. I didn't want you to feel in a situation where you felt like you felt unsafe, because of course it's scary meeting somebody that's not from where you're from, that that's different than you. I don't look the same as you, I don't sound the same as you, I come from a different country than you. And also I know that you have certain issues, like you told me from the second we met. And I never wanted to exasperate those issues. And it made me very sad when I found out you were having panic issues because of this. But
She
I
doesn't
don't
have
think it's me.
anxiety. I
No,
can
sh
tell
no, she
tell that right now.
yeah, and she certainly doesn't have any anxiety anymore after coming out and telling her story on Daywave. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the one who has the anxiety is James,
And so
because now that the world has its attention locked on James, he doesn't like it. He's squirming right now.
yep.
Yeah.
Me
And
causing your panic issues. I think it's the people. It's the larger situation. It's the much larger situation being perpetrated by other people. I'm gonna try and not participate as much as possible. The reason I'm making these videos for you is I want you to know my love for you is real.
oh, she knows you are obsessed with her. You can stop now.
Yeah, it becomes
Message received. Stop making videos.
yeah, that's how you heal, James. That's how you start to, accept healing is through not making these videos anymore. These videos just make your situation worse and you can't accept that. He's fallen in he's addicted to the misery of not being able to love Eliana because if he did have Eliana, he wouldn't know what to do. He'd be
Yeah.
lost. He would be so confused. He'd be like, I've got this, but now what? It's like, yeah,
It's true. It's innocent. It's pure. I'm me. I'm not any of those things, but my love is.
No, it's not.
no, it's not. And he's just keeps on with that creepy laugh of his. Like, he uses that
He,
laugh to disguise when he's lying.
yeah.
Yeah.
It,
So
it's his towel.
it is. That's his tell. That's
He probably also thinks it's suave too.
yeah. James, you remember the movie not Reservoir Dogs, True Romance, James. You remember True Romance? Men have 17 pantomimes, women have 20. You just gave us one of your pantomimes, James.
I'm true. The one thing I guess I can say is I'm true. But the rest of that, innocent, pure, all that, no. But my love is innocent and pure
No,
for
you
you.
admitted to jerking off to her photo.
Yeah,
So,
he did. Yeah,
and you weren't. He wasn't joking.
it's like, James, that's part of, the lack of his brain mouth interocitor is because, everything he says he instantly assumes is going to be, accepted. He doesn't understand social graces. He doesn't understand that, you don't talk about things like that in, normal groups. That's James. You
He,
can't talk like a horny teenager all the time who's just found his first issue of Hustler magazine.
yeah.
So,
I won't go into detail about what he said because we're still new. um, but he said something in Hatman stream about a month ago in the chat,
mm-hmm,
and he was saying it was something sexual, and he was saying it like a good thing, comparing himself to Royce. And it's like, no, no, James, that's actually not a good thing. What you just described is actually very common
mm-hmm,
in teenagers and men who haven't had sex yet.
yep,
So, like, you are giving yourself away by saying these things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, James. James.
The reason that I love you as much as I do, I
He's starting to stumble on his words a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
the more nervous you get, and it's starting to show because the angrier that the customers get at my work, the more I'm starting to actually kind of stumble on my words, trying to keep them calmed down. So yeah, we're angering him, and he's getting to where he can't find the words for
Yep.
his responses.
think
And
from the
he's got
second
the angry bag.
Yeah, he does. He's probably not getting a whole lot of sleep because he's just you know
Yeah.
obsessing about all of our react videos to him. He watches them constantly, I think. So,
met you for whatever reason, you made me feel invigorated. You made me feel alive again.
oh, James made me feel alive again because, before James Robert Clark, I was, kind of trying to muddle through my own depression and my own mental health issues, and then I see this clown come along and he reminds me of me from 25 years ago. I'm like, God damn it, James. Stop being like this. And then that's kind of what he encouraged me to get back into the streaming, because I got so bored with doing a stream that was only being watched by 2 people at one time, and I'm one of them. So I just figured, you know what, change of format, and James Robert Clark is perfect for this. So
You really did. Just talking to you made me feel alive again. To know that there was somebody that understood things the way that I understood things, that cared about things that I cared about.
he's latching onto every card now that he has left to try to, align with Eliana's. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't understand what love is. He keeps assuming that love is about common interests. Love is about activities. Love is about the things that you do every day. Love is about none of those things, James. Jesus.
Yeah.
That
It's it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
I can't even describe it.
Yeah. I mean, for my dad, when my mom passed away in 2003, it shattered my dad,
Sorry.
because yeah, no, it's okay. But when my dad was a widower, and he's alone in the world, he didn't have love for anyone else. He couldn't just simply turn that love into love for somebody else. His love was gone.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the sad reality of it. So,
Yeah.
thoughts
My
that I,
my uncle was killed in a horrific car
mm,
crash when the lot of us were, like, my sister was still in diapers. We weren't even in, my oldest cousin and I weren't even in kindergarten yet,
yeah.
and it destroyed my aunt.
Oh yeah.
And she never, like, it kind of destroyed the dynamic of the family overall, because she loved my uncle so much, like he was her one and only,
Hmm.
and it destroyed her. She
Yeah.
never dated, she never remarried.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it made me feel alive again. Okay? You got me to give up white supremacy.
Bullshit, James.
No,
Bullshit. It,
you you wouldn't be using an ROTC term in a derogatory fashion. An ROTC joke in a derogatory fashion
he
if
keeps
you
saying it.
didn't give up the supremacy shit.
Yeah, the more that he keeps saying it, the more
Yeah.
he's going to turn it into an actual slur. And then
Oh yeah.
Susan is going to be so pissed off that, all of a sudden the chat bots are going to be programmed to reject those 2 words, James.
Yep.
Which,
And
ah,
and for context, that I think it was an ongoing, like, gag for a while, but it wasn't overused like he's overusing it. It was once or twice an episode for maybe a month, and then we moved on.
yeah. It's a throwaway gag for a reason,
Yeah,
James.
and it was jokes and said lightheartedly, not with venom behind the words, like what you have.
Yeah, he keeps saying this, and he's not using it as a joke. He keeps
Yeah.
trying to use it in a deliberately derogatory fashion, and then he turns around in the next video and he says, "Oh, well, I never make those comments. You saved me. You turned me away from being a white supremacist." What utter bullshit, James. Jesus.
Yep.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? And I embraced Castiza futurism. You got me to give up white supremacy. You got me to
Ew.
embrace the concepts expressed in the Raza Cosmica with some minor caveats based on Darwinian reality. But the
I don't know what Darwin would think of, or if Darwin saw you, James, he would probably rescind all of his theories and just
I
say,
was about to say, if he saw you, he would go, "Well, my theory of evolution spunk."
"Yep." He would just say, "You know what? It's all bullshit. I'm burning all
Back to the
those
drawing
books.
board.
Yep, back to the drawing board." And you know what? If creationists looked at you, James, they would look at you and say, "There is no God." Because if there is a God, he would have never allowed James Robert Clark II's sperm to mate with Mrs. James Robert Clark II's egg.
Yep.
There,
Although Darwin would probably have gone back to the drawing board and go, "Oh yeah, no, we just fucked up natural selection.
it's all
It
just
still holds."
it's all just chaos theory anyway.
And
So, oh my God, James. Oh my God.
The truth is, you made me feel alive again. I had felt dead inside for so long. Do you remember you encouraged me to break up with my ex? And despite it being quite an ordeal, I did eventually break up with her.
Why would he
what's
need?
her name?
Yeah, what's her name, James?
What's
And
her name?
and why would you need to break up with your ex, James? Isn't that the point of her being your ex? Is because you've already broken up with her? James, you're just transferring your lies and transforming it into a new lie. You're basically saying that you were with the person who would eventually be your ex, and that you saw Eliana's photo on Facebook and thought, oh, I have a chance to upgrade now. Hey, I'm going out for a pack of smokes. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. And then you just never came back, James. Yeah, predictable.
Yeah.
But you're the one that encouraged me to break up with her because
I doubt that. I highly, highly doubt that. Because if Eliana knew that you were in a relationship already, she would say to you, you know what? I'm not interested in you. You're already in a relationship. I don't I don't hang out with cheating men.
wasn't. I was in a loveless relationship, and you were right.
No, James. No, James. James.
You weren't over the girl you were stalking since high school.
Mm-hmm. Or you just found, you just found a newer model to upgrade to. You went to the dealership. You said, hey, I'm tired of this model. She's already got a kid now, and I have to stay home with the kid and play video games with it all day, and it takes away from my free time. So you got you got any models that I can upgrade to? Oh, yeah. Well, we have this model Eliana over here. Oh, well, that seems like a nice model. Hey,
He,
Eliana. Yeah.
he decided to go after the girl
Mm-hmm.
who didn't have a restraining order and a court order out against him at that time.
And didn't have kids, didn't and was he looked for someone who was single and childless so that he could start his new family with them. So,
Yep.
yeah. We know you a lot better than you think, James, believe me.
I am very sure when he first saw pictures of Eliana with her niece,
Mm-hmm.
he probably raged hard
Yeah.
because he still thinks it's fucking her kid.
Yeah.
But I bet you he raged and only calmed down when he realized, well, this means she can have kids, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
Yeah. Any chance he can to get the baby batter in the mixing bowl. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, and I'm not going to get into the reasons why you told me to break up with her because that's not important right now. But you were the one that encouraged me to break up with her, and you were.
No, you seeing her encouraged you to break up with her. So it wasn't that she told you to break up with her. It was that you allowed your obsession with Eliana to be your excuse to break up with your ex. So, yeah. James, you're predictable as fuck, baby.
Correct. And I think it's fair to say, I think I should credit her with this. She's the one that told me to read the comments in the comments section of your video. She doesn't have any problems with you. I just want you to understand that she has no problems with you. Thank goodness. Um, oh, it's very nice to see that she actually did look at your comments section and saw what was going on and knew that I would want to know that because I care about you and told me, read her comments in her comments section. And I try not to read the comments because they hurt my feelings sometimes. But
Pussy.
Yeah, bullshit, James. You try not to read the comments. You delete all the comments that I post on your videos, James. Bullshit.
You
You try not to read the comments. What a
you
liar.
delete and block. You delete and block.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, no, he doesn't block me. I'm still able to get my comments on. In fact, you know what? You know what? Let's fuck with James, shall we?
Okay.
Let's go to our segment of the show that I'm going to call "Let's Fuck with James." So let's transition over. Let's go to your community tab, James, because we're going to fuck with you tonight. That's right. Oh, what do you got
Oh,
in your community tab today?
yeah, Dr. Brony definitely gets a wrench.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, yeah. Doc Johnson. Hey, hi, Doc Johnson. Let's get you a wrench. Or Dr. Brody, I'm sorry. There you go. Okay.
He posted another video somebody's watching.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through James Robert Clark's community tab. Study finds Novavax COVID-19 shot about 90% effective. Comment.
I have to shut up about this now.
Study finds leaving Eliana the fuck alone.
100% effective.
100. I can't find the percent key. God damn it.
Shift 5. Shift 5.
I know, shift 5. Oh my god. Comment. I'll throw my own like on that. And mark the time. It is 10:07 Mountain Time. How long before James decides that he's gonna, get rid of this comment? What's the over under on that? You think 10 minutes? 15? We'll check on it. We'll check on it in 10 minutes, I think.
Hopefully 10 minutes.
Yeah, I say 10 minutes. He'll want to get rid of that shit quick. So
Dude, I think you're blocked.
no, it let me post.
It lets you post and you can see it.
Yeah, I can.
But I can't.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, that's YouTube. Like when you're blocked, you can still see you commenting
That is
and
like
posting.
That is like the most fucked up
It
theory
is.
of blocking ever. It's like that, the whole point of blocking is so that they're not supposed to be able to comment on your videos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I could be wrong. It may have changed, but I think he can still. It's not public, but I think he has the option of viewing it if he wants to, because I know he blocked one of my alts. I won't say under which one because that'll give it away because I use it for Mary too.
That's probably how come I may not be able to see your comments on his community tab because of how fucked up.
Because I know I'm blocked, so I haven't even bothered.
Mhm.
But this is from like about a month or so ago when the Quasimodo thing first reared its ugly head.
Yeah.
I knew he had blocked me, but I was just so angry at him. I was still commenting under the thread, and he was still responding to me.
Yeah.
So even though he had blocked me because I was going under my normal account and I couldn't see my comments, I'm like, all right, he fucking blocked that one.
Mhm.
But he was still reacting and commenting, so I just went right back. You fucking coward! You block me, but then still respond to comments that nobody else can see because you think it's safe.
Yeah, he wants to live in the delusion. He doesn't want anybody interrupting his fantasy. He doesn't want anybody bringing him back down to earth. He just wants to keep on, living the dream of being with Eliana, which is never going to happen. So, back to the video.
I was happy that she took the time to tell me, you might want to know these things, which prompted me to make that video. I don't want you having panic attacks over me.
Remove don't from what he just said.
It's not necessary, number one. And number two, it's not healthy. And as I said in my previous video, because I'm sure you're not offline, I think what you should do probably is concentrate on your family, concentrate on what makes you feel good, concentrate what makes you happy, okay? Forget about me, although I do want you to watch my Merry Christmas video that I make you, because
Merry Christmas, James Robert Clark III. Thank you for that Toyota Tacoma truck that you're going to buy me this time next year with all that YouTube advertising revenue money that your videos are bringing me.
I do have some presents for you. I think you know some of them, like the llama and the books and all that. It doesn't really matter. But I did get you that beautiful little cross. And you might get none of.
Carl, why did you give James Robert Clark III a llama doll? Well, I concluded that he would use this llama doll to stalk Eliana, and I was right. Carl, don't do that!
these presents, and that's fine. Like I said, I will give them to a church, and that church will distribute them to whoever needs them in our.
Oh, he's getting ready to say something spectacularly hilarious. JJ, start recording.
Argentina. Okay? Of course, not the satanic necklace, but the rest of the stuff, I think it's fine if I give that to a church. I'll probably seek to give it to a Mormon or a Lutheran church because, my views on the Catholic Church. But I will probably try and give it to a Lutheran or a Mormon church in Buenos Aires.
He's going to give a satanic cross to either a Mormon or a Lutheran church in Buenos Aires.
Argentina is 99% Catholic. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck finding a Mormon or a Lutheran church in Argentina, and good luck on having them accept a satanic cross. Because
good luck having
yeah.
any branch of Christianity except a satanic cross. I mean, they may accept it into your face to be polite, but it's going in the trash as soon as you walk out the door.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like, they don't want that. They don't want it.
Yeah, James, Jesus has been carrying you on his shoulders for so long because of the footprints in the sand, but you keep trying to jump off his shoulders because you want to go for the ice cream stand that's over off to the side. You keep wanting to go for the ice cream stand, James. Oh, my goodness.
So that they can distribute it to people that, might need a book, might need, something like that. And I want you to take care of yourself. I really do. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to try and relax. I want you to understand that I love you no matter what. And part of me loving you is understanding that, if you're feeling upset because of me, well, it's part of you understanding this too. I want you to understand this.
He's living in denial again because he doesn't want Eliana to be scared of her, or scared of him rather, and he knows that he scares her, but he's just like, no, I know I'm creepy, but please don't be scared of me. I can be a good person. I can change. I'm working on my anger issues, Eliana. It's the same manipulative, narcissistic bullshit that over and over and over, James, that we're getting tired of.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts me inside if I'm making you feel upset like that. I don't want to make you feel upset like that. I do want you to reflect on
If the easiest way, if you don't want to make Eliana feel upset, then just stop making your videos. Then I can let you go from the LolCow Ranch, buddy. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Stop making your videos, and I won't make any more React videos about you anymore, James.
the fact after you calm down. After you calm down. I also don't like that you're crying. Believe me, I've cried a lot over you. I've cried a whole lot over you.
Probably for different reasons.
Yeah, I'm thinking that our videos make him cry a lot because he's internalizing what we're saying, and his subconscious is trying to tell him they're telling you the truth, James. Please listen to them. They're telling you the truth. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why do you have to, torment this poor girl? Why have you done this for 7 years, James?
But that's not the point. I want you to understand that I know where you're coming from, okay? But I don't want you crying out of fear. Not at all.
She is,
but
though.
what I do want.
Oh, yeah. Your videos make her cry out of fear, James. And you keep, blundering through, like a bull in a china shop. Well, not like a bull in a china shop because the bull doesn't know any better. Like a 17-year-old smartass kid with his mom in a china shop. And the mom's like, well, we'll be a few minutes. And the 17-year-old's like, oh, okay. Grabs a plate, smash, and makes his mom have to buy that plate. And then when the kid doesn't get what he wants, takes another plate, smash, takes another plate, smash, takes some cups and saucers, smash, just smashes the whole store out of anger. A bull in a china shop doesn't understand why it's a bull, and it's trying to be, it's just trying to be a bull. But a manipulative kid having anger issues is what you are, James.
You to understand is this has destroyed my life.
Oh, I'm sure it has, James. I'm sure it has.
Utterly destroyed my life. They're threatening to mail flyers to all of my neighbors telling them I'm a racist. I'm the white guy in my complex. Now they already
Liar.
think
Yeah, I was about to say that, his neighbors really don't need to be told by anybody else that James Robert Clark III is a racist, because James Robert Clark III tells them himself through the paper
Yeah.
thin walls of his apartment, especially when he goes ranting about, ROTC jokes and turning them into, insulting slurs and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a racist because
And I highly doubt you're the only white person in your complex. It's
No.
a fairly big complex.
Yeah, there's a lot more poor white people in Pennsylvania than you think, James.
white
You ain't
guy.
special.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
Although, you know what, James? Technically, and I make this joke sometimes, Maureen, technically we're not white, we're pink. Albinos are white people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Technically, I'm not even considered. I'm half Irish. I'm not considered part in the white club.
Oh, Angelina, Contessa, Luisa, Francesca, Banana, Bobana, Fofana. Hello, Mr. Vance. I dug something out of my emails and sent it to you. LOL. Thank you. Yes, I will. I will definitely check that. So,
That's gonna not end
and you're welcome to join us in the Discord if you'd like, Angelina. So,
well for me.
or yeah, Angelina. Yeah.
They're threatening to pelt my
Not
apartment
gonna lie,
with
I'm gonna be very
feces.
disappointed
They've
when they don't sound like that
already
water.
sent
when Angelina comes in and it sounds like Hatman.
Or it actually is Tess McNeil.
people out.
or Tig Manson. It's like I keep hearing this name
Hello.
Tig Manson again, and I keep confusing it with the actor Tig Notaro. So
To my apartment complex.
nobody is going to throw feces at your apartment complex, James. Why would they do that? Why would they inconvenience your neighbors just to inconvenience you, James? You keep making it all about you.
Eventually
We're not
somebody
horrible. We don't like collateral damage. So if we know something's gonna have collateral damage,
Yeah.
we don't do it. And plus, you're not collateral damage, or no, you're not worth that much of our time.
Yeah, James, you think that we're gonna do all of these cruel, crazy things to you, and we're not. You're we're gonna tease the shit out of you in our react videos, and rightfully so. But James, if you keep saying that you've got these threats, either show us the threats or shut the fuck up, James.
I mean, if somebody threatens me, I'm within my legal rights to defend myself where I live, and I will defend myself.
He's pretending he's Kyle Rittenhouse again. So
Yeah, they did no, like, and other point. Why would we do something like throw feces at your apartment when you're a legitimate danger to people, especially Eliana?
yeah, why would we?
Doing something like that would fuck up any legal case that any of us could potentially bring if you fucked with us first.
Exactly. Why?
What I'm saying,
Why
and it
would
could also
we
it
risk
could
our
hurt
own
Eliana.
freedoms? Why would we risk our
Yeah.
own freedoms just to make sure that you didn't have yours, James?
Yeah,
So,
that's it's stupid. Like it's
mm,
again, what I said to Mary on Saturday. Same for you. I fucking hate you. You concern me.
mm-hmm.
You actually even you scare me a wee bit because for your potential to be violent. But but I'm not going to come at you first.
No. No.
It is stupid on so many levels.
Yeah, and if James Robert Clark III is the kind of like stalker, type that he is, why would any of us want to go near you, James? Because you might make us disappear too. You probably,
Yeah.
you probably have a favorite spot in the woods all ready to go. So,
Yep.
yeah,
That's just
And
the law.
go ahead. Yeah.
and I was gonna say, James, just so you know, most states with the castle doctrine and self defense laws, they have their there's the laws are usually you must use if someone's threatening you, you use equal force to get them to back off. If you cannot, you have to be able to retreat first. If you cannot retreat, you use equal force to get them to back off, and you can only use deadly force if deadly force is being used against you first.
Right.
So, if someone were to throw feces at your apartment door, that doesn't mean you get to shoot them
And
or attack them with a baseball bat.
right. Yeah, he's confusing childish pranks, which no one would ever pull on you, James, with attacking people.
Getting beaten over the head with a skateboard.
Exactly. And James, no one's going to go to any of those lengths for you.
The law says I have a right to defend myself, and I will defend myself to the fullest extent of the law. And it's like they're pushing this to a point where somebody is bound to get hurt, and this is not appropriate behavior. I don't know if I'm going to get hurt or if somebody else is going to get hurt. Probably me and somebody else are going to get hurt, but
yeah. So he's saying that if anybody tries to take away his Eliana, that he's going to take.
He's quoting threatening there.
Yeah, that he will deny the world Eliana if he can't have her. So yeah,
they're the ones that are pushing this far. They threatened to put cocaine in my luggage.
Okay, I gotta stop it here, James. I never said that I was going to put cocaine in your luggage. Okay. Wait, Maureen, wait.
I remember what you said. That's why I'm like,
I know. I never said I was going to put cocaine in your luggage, James. I did say that I was going to put bacon strips in your luggage. Dogs don't know it's not bacon. And there's no law, James. There would be no law for me to go to like the corner grocery store and buy up like 20 bags of bacon strips just to sneak them in your luggage.
No.
And then when TSA, and then the dog is just like,
I think it was AP or Virgie, and if I misremembering from Saturday, because we were kind of having fun. I apologize, but I think it was one of them, or possibly it was like, yeah, like they're gonna go into like saying, that if you're gonna try and go through the airport, you're gonna piss off a TSA agent, and all of a sudden you're getting strip searched. That the implication was TSA agent is gonna do it because your attitude pissed them off.
Right. Yeah.
Not that anybody from our camp snuck into like the old George Carlin joke, snuck into your apartment and packed your bags for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's like ever since like 1978, if the government wants to implicate you, they will find a way to get cocaine into your apartment, and they will arrest you for it. So they will plant it just to make sure that you go to jail if you are too much of a threat to them. So yeah, James, I don't need cocaine, but I will need bacon strips. I'll need a whole lot of bacon strips, and I can't wait to see the look on the dog's face.
And the dog's gonna react.
Yeah,
they're gonna take you into the because you have bacon strips on you. You'll be released, but it'll be an hour or two of inconvenience.
They'll probably give him some kind of citation for trying to mess with the TSA dog or something like that. So
Because they'll be pissed that they wasted 2 hours of their time. Meanwhile, the actual drug cartel guy got through.
But you know what? James definitely will enjoy that full body cavity search. Doesn't matter who does it, as long as a full body cavity search, they'll just be like, okay, spread your cheeks, Mr. Clark. Ooh.
So we're gonna need you to unclench.
Okay, we're done. We're done with the body cavity search now, Mr. Clark. You can relax. Are you sure? I think that I might have something up inside me a little deeper. So if you want to keep on searching, you're free to continue. Oh my God. And he's probably so blue balls all the fucking back that as soon as the TSA went and did the full body cavity search, that would just be it. That would be it for him. He'd be like, boom.
Just done.
So that I would get in trouble with the TSA. Okay.
He has no sense of humor. Oh my God, Irrational Time just joking around the other night because I made a blanket for Kitty B and it sat in the customs office in Jamaica, Queens for 3 weeks because I was watching that tracking and we were joking around that the customs was probably making sure there weren't there wasn't like meth mixed into the fibers or anything. That's why it sat there for so long.
Yeah, they're probably making extra sure. Yeah, so.
And that was in a live stream. I have proof of that.
He's talking about the stream that we did.
We knew he was watching.
And James, I'm telling you, we never said we would put cocaine in your luggage, buddy.
No.
We never said that. For one thing, where am I going to get that much cocaine? I don't think even Mersh would have that much cocaine on him, buddy.
I bet he's watching now.
Well, I mean, if Mersh did, you think he's going to spare it just for this clown?
No. I think Mersh is a nice guy, but he don't fucking share.
He'll be like, "Oh, get your own fucking coke, man. I'm not giving you coke just to frame James Robert Clark with that, man. Fuck that, man."
Yeah. It's like, no.
I mean, these are the kind of people that, are just garbage people. And you shouldn't have associated with them. The way that Royce talks about your body, the way that Mersh talks about your body, the way that JJ talks about your body.
Eliana has a nice liver and kidneys, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. I don't think she likes the color, though, of her kidneys.
No, yeah. Well, hey, you know what? They do their job, and she's not going to need to replace them, at least for another 50, 60 years, hopefully. So, and she's got, nice pair of lungs to her. She's also got a heart and spleen.
I am fucking jealous of her hair. Me and Raj are like, it's so nice and shiny. Like I finally grew my hair out to the length I wanted, but I've been a little stressed lately, and it's like all split endy on the bottom. I can't do anything. I trim it, and it's still split ends. Oh,
yeah.
Hers is so nice and even.
Yeah. My hair gets to be a nightmare, but I was able to pull off the Shemp hairstyle for my little portrait mode insult to him. I know you were mad the other day when I suggested the idea, and I was like thinking, oh no, I still had to do it. I still had to do it just to kind of dig back at James on that. So plus it makes it good. Hey, subscribe to my channel video. So
the way that I even think Frozen Asian talks
is what.
What was I mad about? Me or him?
Let me back that up here.
Eventually if somebody threatens me, I'm within my legal rights to defend myself where I live, and I will defend myself.
No, I thought you said I was
just
mad.
The law.
No.
The law says I have a right to defend myself.
I know. Because you were saying at the time, if you make that video, I swear.
Oh, I was joking.
Okay, because I
was joking, right?
You know what? Sometimes I have trouble interpreting things. So
no,
I'm just glad that I'm on the other side of this for once, James.
No, no. I was totally like, it was totally fake anger.
Oh, okay,
That was
yeah.
that was typed out right. Yeah, it was
I
fake anger.
know. Okay, see, yeah. All right, all right. Yeah.
I have like I type also how I talk,
Mm-hmm.
so like I'll hear my tone in my inside voice while I'm typing it out, and then I forget. Oh, not everyone has heard me speak or interacted with me like this yet or before,
Yeah.
and they don't like you. We're getting to know each other, but like I. I'll say something funny, and it's meant to be said in a funny voice, but someone might not
Yeah.
like read it hours later and miss it.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I guarantee you that, when I said on Saturday that, hey, Adrasdea, in a few hours, I'm going to destroy the sun. Do you think a part of her probably was like thinking to herself, oh my God, he's going to destroy the sun. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
I bet I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Oh, Jesus, Mary. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Yeah.
Under the law. And it's like they're pushing this to a point where somebody is bound to get hurt. And this is not appropriate behavior. I don't know if I'm going to get hurt or if somebody else is going to get hurt. Probably me and somebody else are going to get hurt, but they're the ones that are pushing this far. They threatened to put cocaine in my luggage so that I would
No.
get in trouble with.
No, we didn't, James. No, we
No, you
didn't.
just like Mary, you heard what you wanted.
You heard
And
what you.
twisted
Well,
and
no.
twisted words.
Well, not like Mary, because Mary, when she was in the stream Saturday, did you hear about how I was kind of explaining about how Mary goes into Tasmanian devil mode, like the Warner Brothers
Yeah.
cartoons? Yeah. So
Oh yeah, she did that right away.
yeah, she did that right away, and that it was just like almost like predictable on her part. But James doesn't have the Tasmanian devil mode excuse to use. He's definitely selectively choosing what he wants to hear and what he doesn't want to hear in this case. So, Adrasdea, I know when she flies off the handle as soon as anybody is talking anything about her, whether it's good or whether it's bad. But James is conniving. He's got that kind of eerie kind of calmness to him in his words, in his speech, in his mannerisms. Yeah. So, James, I know you better than you think, buddy.
The TSA. Okay. Like these are,
Hi,
and
buddy.
that was in a live stream. I have proof of that. I mean, these are the kind of
Show us that proof, James. Please. Please show us this proof.
people that, are just garbage people. And you shouldn't have associated with them. The way that Royce talks about your body, the way that Mersh talks about your body, the way that JJ talks about your body, the way that I even think Frozen Asian talks about your body is.
And Frozen's like one of the nicest guys I know.
Yeah. Um, he's just projecting all of his, rage issues because he can't accept that Eliana is never going to be with him. And he's taking all these people who are trying to tell him the truth and he's trying to make them feel uncomfortable, and it just doesn't work, James. It doesn't work at all.
Unacceptable. Nobody should talk about you like that. And frankly, if your husband to be is too much of a wuss to say something about that, I'll gladly say something about that. Okay? I don't like people talking about you like that.
I'm sure you don't, James.
Period. I don't. The only one that should be talking to you like that is preferably me after we get married, but I don't think that's happening. But the
There's
thing
that
is,
laugh.
Yep, there's that creepy laugh again. So
He
he,
he has every intention of forcing her to be by his side.
yeah, he uses the laugh to kind of try to internally change the subject, because if he lets that subject go on for too long, it gets dark very, very quickly. So he has to use the laugh to just, kind of force himself to change the subject on what he's saying to
Yep.
Eliana. So
I wouldn't talk to you like that even if we were married. Some of that stuff is just gross. Okay? I wouldn't say anything like that to you even if we were married because it's just over the top. But I want you to take care of yourself. Try and do whatever you need to do to stay calm, cool, and collected. If you need, I mean, one of the things that I do want to tell you, there's a system of therapy that I actually took called dialectical behavioral therapy. You can buy the workbook and you can do the exercises. It's not great, but it's the most helpful thing that I've ever done for my PTSD symptoms.
What
Okay? I
PTSD?
want you to,
What
Well,
you obviously didn't serve. How much trauma did you suffer through as a child?
I don't know. I'm if he did have
So
an abusive if he did have an abusive father, then yeah, there is some PTSD associated with that, but there's not enough to justify all of this bullshit with
oh
Eliana.
yeah,
No.
oh yeah.
And
No,
and
I just
PTSD.
get
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
oh no, I just get so angry because you see so many people either online or in the wild say, "Oh, I have PTSD. The person at the store was mean to me." It's like, bitch, that's not that doesn't give you PTSD.
No,
PTSD is from repeated traumatic experiences. Like if that's why it's most common with people in the army because they see their buddies get blown up right before their eyes.
I'll
It's
I'll give you
incredibly common in rape survivors and abuse survivors because they were the horrors that were inflicted upon them. But and depending how bad and severe the beatings he had when he was a kid,
mhm.
okay, maybe. But your dad took a belt to you once or twice. Yeah, no, that's not PTSD inducing. Like, I'm sorry, get you like stop. PTSD is not a badge of honor.
No, and it's not a permanent thing either. And I'll explain, one instance that happened to me when I was working at the convenience store back in Lexington. Okay, so March of 2012, I'm working the overnight shift and
Mhm.
I'm getting ready to clean the restrooms with bleach and super hot water. And this kid comes in wearing a mask and carrying a machete. And
Oh
he's
God.
and he's wanting the money in the register. And I'm actually at that time more genuinely annoyed at this kid than I am scared because this little asshole interrupted my cleaning of the restrooms. So, and I have a deck scrubbing brush in my hands too, so I was kind of ready for him. But I opened up the register, I pulled out all the money, and it's like $15. I said, "Here, $15. Is this gonna buy you a bag of drugs tonight?" "No, man, I want the money in the safe." "Man, I don't have access to the safe. You know this." He calmly puts his
Yeah.
machete away. He walks out the door. Didn't even take the money. It was in the register. And he gets caught like 4 minutes later at a stoplight because he had his headlights off. And of course I had pressed the silent alarm on him. And
Yeah.
if it had been about drugs, I would have accepted that because it's like, when you work the night shift, you get to know your night owl customers, and especially
Yep.
the ones who work like in Narcotics Anonymous. I could have
Mhm.
like made some calls and gotten the kid into a hospital bed. It turns out the kid was trying to get money for a video game console. Okay. So that's, at the time I'm thinking, I'm even more angry. I'm thinking, okay, just put him under the jail. I don't give a shit anymore about him. Four
Yeah.
months later, I'm working at that same convenience store and a Cadillac Escalade pulls up, a Cadillac SUV pulls up, and four kids get out, and three of them immediately turn on one of them and just start beating the shit out of him in the parking lot of the gas station. And immediately I am locking the doors because I'm not letting any
Yeah.
of these people in.
Oh,
And I'm like, getting the cops over there as quick as possible. And this kid, they curb stomped this kid. Like, and I'm watching it from like, 15 feet away,
yeah.
and I'm seeing this kid getting curb stomped. And then it hits me. Holy shit, that kid 4.5 months ago with the machete could have fucking killed me. And for the next few nights, I'm looking at this blood spatter from where the kid got curb stomped in on the cement,
Yeah.
and I had to like buy a bottle of bleach just to kind of clean that
Yeah.
out. And after it just got to where, you know, but PTSD is not something that is permanent. You get over it. And it's not, oh, she was mean to me, I have PTSD now. That's not how PTSD works.
Yeah. No. And not and people who truly have it don't always talk
Hmm.
about it.
Right.
Uh when I worked retail, one of my managers, he was maybe 8 years older than I am. I think I was like 17 or 18 at the time. No, I was older.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably around 20 and he was around 26, and he had just come back from Afghanistan. And thank you for your service. I look forward to, because he was new, I look forward to working with you, getting to know you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 6, 8 months into working with him, we were closing one night and he just had his hand over his face, like, dude, you all right? My PTSD is kicking in. And that was the end of it. And we moved on with our closing. Duties. I was, like I said, I was like 20. I was in college. Like, I'd heard of PTSD. I know what caused it. I had no idea what his triggers were. Looking back on it now, like, I have no idea if I said or did anything that may have triggered something. But he never talked about it and was always like, he took himself physically like back so he could calm down and deal with it and do what he had to do his job and live.
When you hear soldiers talk about their experiences with real PTSD and how they've seen their platoon mates getting killed, and how they describe it as, and you know what? No, never mind. I'm not going to go that route, because the way they describe it would be too graphic even for YouTube, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't want to
So
eat the channel.
you don't want to eat the channel out of that. So we'll just kind of. James, you don't have PTSD, and if any of our React videos are giving you PTSD, you need a lot more help than you think, buddy. I'm gonna go back to his videos here. So
To understand that. So it's called dialectical behavioral therapy. There is a free archive for it. I'm going to try and find a link to the archive, and I'll leave it in the comments and the description for you. I want you to get healthy. I want you to understand that I love and care about you. I genuinely respect you. I wish you understood that everything I say comes from a place of love. I wish you understood that.
I wish that everything you did say comes from a place of love, but it doesn't, James. It doesn't. It comes from your obsession and your wanting to control Eliana instead of actually wanting to cherish and love her. So, James, you keep on with this delusion, and you're going to make yourself even more unhappy, and you're just going to make us rich. It won't stop with you buying me a truck. You'll probably buy AP another truck. You'll probably buy Royce a mobile home. A RV. It's going to be amazing. All the stuff that you're going to buy us with the YouTube ad revenue, James. You could turn this off 3 months from now. If you stopped your creepy videos, the algorithm will forget about you, James. Jesus. It would just take 3 months. Yeah. Randolph, did you find out the medical center that James was bitching about that he apparently worked at? I haven't. Wait, I think I did. I'll have to go back on his videos, but it's some kind of center, I think, right, Maureen? Like
Yeah,
Hudson Center or something like that, or
Hudson Center sounds right, because it's
yeah,
in that area of also
hmm
Pencil, Jersey.
yeah. The nut hut where they made sure he didn't have donkey brains anymore. So
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I really think he was doing orderly work as like work study while he was an inpatient, but
yeah.
that's just an educated guess.
No, that's probably, yeah, because after a while they're gonna cure him up. But if he's homeless, they're like, okay, well, you got to earn your keep around here. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
this is probably around nighttime for you. Have a good night. Calm down. I've never tried to call
She's
you.
2 hours ahead of you.
Yeah, James.
It's like the time difference between you and me. It's not a big.
And he posted this at like what, like 5 o'clock in the evening or something like that.
So it's 7 o'clock where she is.
Yeah, and it's the southern
I know what I
hemisphere.
was doing
It's
at
the
7 o'clock
southern
our time.
hemisphere, James. They've got the sunlight right now, James. They've got
It's
the
their
summer.
summer.
Yeah,
She's having summer right now. It is broad daylight still.
yeah, for real, James. For real. Oh my God.
Like today was our winter solstice. Today's your summer solstice. Like
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, James.
Get super upset. I do want you to understand that you played a role in what has happened, but I want you to wait until you feel better before you try and understand that, because it's not my place to make you
Condescending
upset.
bastard.
Pendel Mental Health Center. Okay, yes, Pendel.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. 'Cause
right, because it had one of those really kind of unusual sounding names to it. Or something.
Pennsylvania, Delaware. Bet you it's on the border.
There you go. Oh my God, yeah.
Upset any more than you're already upset. I don't want you having
It must be one of those places that I think gets like state funding from both Pennsylvania and Delaware. So yeah, makes sense.
panic attacks. If you're crying over me, I want it to be coming from the right place. Meaning, I want you to actually feel kind of bad for how you treated me.
Oh
He's never
God,
going to feel bad.
no,
Never.
and he keeps turning this around and making it Eliana's fault.
Yeah,
And
it's all her fault.
yeah, that's his narcissism. That's just classic
Yeah.
narcissism, James.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
But
I do think he does have a. He's not a pure narcissist because he's got other tendencies showing, but he does have narcissistic tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and like I don't want to discredit everything that ASDSS says because, like I said, he's the professional. He sees this stuff
Oh yeah.
IRL, but it's like, but some of the stuff he says, it's like he has to have a touch of these tendencies.
Yeah. He's definitely he's definitely a new definition in the DSM-5 book. Put it that way. They're gonna classify a
He's gonna be
whole
his own
new
DSM.
yeah. There's going to be a whole new slew of mental health definitions based off of James Robert Clark III, I think.
Yeah.
They're going to be psychiatrists are going to be talking about him 100 years from now. Mark my words. They're going to be like, okay, so there was this kid in the early 2000s named James Robert Clark III.
He's our psychiatric version of Typhoid Mary.
Yes, that he is. Yeah. He came right about in the pandemic of the 2020s, and they just discovered how crazy he was. So.
I don't want you to be crying because you're scared. I don't want you to be crying because of anything like that. The only two places that I think you should be crying if you're crying over me is that you're sad that we're not together.
Oh, damn it. Why did I do that?
That's even creepier because you just see his
God
eyes.
damn it. No. Stop that. Okay, I got to mark the time. 23:12. I got to come back to that here just a moment. Technical difficulties. Yes, I'm a fucking boomer. I know it's true. I'll get back to my VLC player. Sorry about that. So I gotta reopen folder, desktop, ERC3 videos, select, and no, we're going back to 2312. Perfect.
Which I don't think is happening. And or that you feel bad for how you treated me. I've cried about you a lot over the years, primarily because I just don't.
Hey there, ASDSS. If you want to, feel free to join us in the voice chat on that. So, yeah, I mean, we need more voices in the chorus right now. So
Understand what's going on, and I love you so much that it makes me hurt. Okay, it has made me hurt, but that's neither here nor there. It's also helped me calm down a lot to see you. Like honestly, as nasty as you were to me on Daywave, it made me feel.
how was she nasty to you on Daywave?
Oh, can you screen share again?
Oh, I'm sorry. Derp.
Sorry, I just wait.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot. I got to turn that back on. Yeah,
it's getting late for both of us.
I know, and this is like rare that we actually want to watch James Robert Clark.
No.
So, okay, so all right.
Good to see you, to know you were safe, that you looked healthy. Ironically, you look healthier than everybody on Daywave, which probably isn't a compliment. But
how did Eliana lie on Daywave, James?
You look healthier than everybody on Daywave, despite everything, if you know what I mean. And it made me feel really good to see that you were healthy, despite the fact that you called me Quasimodo and told me to kill myself 3 times.
James.
Hoping laugh.
James, you keep denying this, and you keep not wanting to accept reality, and you're just making yourself hurt more because we're going to make the react videos hurt more for you, James.
I still felt good that you look really nice. You do. And as you know, that my love for you is not because of your external beauty, but your internal beauty and your intelligence. I love you. I love your internal beauty, your inner self. The beauty of, well, what would be a soul if I believed in a soul. You radiate, you radiate that inner beauty. That is what revived me.
No, her photograph engorged your member, James. That's what happened. That's all that happened. You're confusing invigorating and radiating with sexual excitement and gratification, James. My God.
It was like a ka returning to a mummified body when I met you. I don't know if you remember what that is, the ka and the mummification. It doesn't matter. You'll remember it real quick if you look into it. But the point is, you brought life back to me when I met you. I was emotionally dead before I met you.
You're emotionally dead right now, James. I can tell from all of these videos that you just keep posting into the void. You are so emotionally dead inside. You have dedicated yourself to Eliana, and you don't know how to reach out to anybody else that might be able to help you, James. You're the one who's emotionally dead, James.
And you literally breathed life back into me. And I never wanted to let that go. But if I have to let that go, I have to let that go.
And you will let that go, James.
Have a good night, hon.
Yeah. All right, what's the next video? Okay, this one, yeah, he came earlier today. Trolls bullying people about being alone on Christmas. I haven't previewed this, so we're gonna both see this firsthand.
So I was
Guarantee you it's mirror related.
Yeah. Have you noticed how he looks almost like Adam Farler, except he doesn't have that kind of Alabama country accent? You know, the CIA is putting mind control drugs in my Coca Cola again. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. My boyfriend, he left me, but I'm just gonna try to see if my boyfriend will take me back again. So. God, could you imagine if you put James Robert Clark III and Adam Farler together? You wouldn't be able to tell which one was which if they didn't speak.
Yeah.
looking at some of the comments of some of
Actually, I take that back. You would be able to tell which one was which because one of them would have a Coca-Cola bottle in his hands.
Yeah.
these trolls on other people's videos and community tabs and things like that. And they're belittling people, saying they're going to be alone for Christmas, they're going to be miserable for Christmas.
James, I have belittled myself because I'm going to be alone for Christmas. Sam is going to be alone for Christmas. He doesn't have a chance to go back home to his folks in Kentucky. But he wants to, but he's going to be alone this Christmas. James, we're not insulting you because of the fact that you're alone on Christmas too. We're in this together, buddy, and we're trying to help you, but you keep taking what we're saying as insults instead of advice, James.
Things like that. This got me thinking about the mental health status of the people that are trolling. And it's interesting because what was the first video that ever got me to incur the wrath of trolls? Well, it was a video I
You
did
talking about wanting to impregnate Eliana?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Or putting the baby batter in Galena. Yeah. Oh,
It was
James.
the Eliana one because that was in October. But yeah, that was. Sorry.
Oh my God.
back. I'm going to see if I even still have it. I might have gotten rid of it. On the DSM and how psychology, the DSM is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for mental illnesses, okay?
No shit.
And
Yeah, I mean, we know what the DSM is. It's currently on revision 5 right now, James.
I know upon the testimony, the personal private testimony of at least 3 psychiatrists that I was personally friends with,
And you're going to be responsible for the DSM 6 revision, James.
No,
They're
no,
gonna.
James. You weren't friends with them. They were your psychiatrist.
Yeah, they were your handlers, James. They were your real LolCow ranchers, James.
I'm personally friends with 2 of them still. They don't believe in the DSM. And a lot of people will say, I don't believe mental illness exists. I've never said I don't believe that mental illness or mental.
There are psychiatrists.
Mhm.
I will give him some credit with this. The DSM currently has taken 2 disorders, for lack of a better phrase, out of it. I won't say which 2 because I don't want to get people angry.
No, that's
But
understandable. Yeah.
but I know I know someone who was diagnosed with one of those disorders after it was taken out.
Mm-hmm.
He legitimately has this issue, and he has been working with his doctor, with his psychiatrist, for years to help him get him in a better mental state. And they are slowly but surely taking what some people may be considered drastic measures.
Yeah.
And he is worried about a certain statistic, but he is doing what he can to live as normally as possible and be as healthy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a legitimate disorder, even if it's no longer in the DSM. It's just very few people have it.
Yeah, exactly. And James displays so many of the textbooks of narcissism, of the self-centered
Yeah.
behavior, probably insomnia. He probably drinks a lot. You could tell from yeah.
I have a feeling I'm going to say he's a drunk because, alcoholics go to meetings. But no, I do think he has a drinking problem.
Yeah, that video where he was wearing the denim jacket earlier today and he was shaking. It almost seemed like it wasn't cold. It didn't seem like it would have been that cold in his
Yeah.
apartment for him to wear a jacket like that. Even when
Yeah.
he's got the windows open and you can hear those Amazon trucks all the time,
Yeah.
it's not that cold. So I'm thinking that, if he's just doesn't have the money for his alcohol right now, he's going through like the DTs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can legit die from alcohol withdrawal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
If you try to come down off of it, cold turkey, you will die, James.
yeah.
So
mental health disorders exist. This is where people come into a weird area with me. Like, because I say positive things about Scientology.
James.
He says positive things about Michael fucking Aquino.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, your opinions are not to be trusted.
Yeah. And James, the only thing that Scientology president David Miscavige cares about that's positive is the zeros in the balance of the bank accounts. He wants,
his bank account.
his bank accounts. That's all he cares about. Is that positive? Is the balance positive? Perfect. Everything's good. That James.
I have money. That's all that matters.
Yeah, James would be the perfect Scientology rube because he would just give up all of his money just to have him unlock his Staten level. So
yeah.
I'm not a Scientologist. I want to make sure people know that. But
no, I don't even think Scientologists want you in their group, James.
Yeah, no.
They look at you and like, no, James.
He's gonna do something and bring too much heat on the cup.
Yeah, he would do something. You're exposing the goddamn business, James.
people, for some reason, believe I'm a Scientologist, believe I'm a Freemason, believe I'm a Jesuit, believe I'm this, believe I'm that. I'm none of these things. I'm me.
No one's ever said they believe you're one thing or another.
Well,
Stop talking to yourself. and
we
stop answering back.
There is one thing I do believe that he is. He's crazy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He talks to himself and answers back, and it's that last one that's the bad bit.
Hi there, ASDSS. Welcome to the voice chat.
Hey Vance, how are you?
I'm doing
I'm
good
just
tonight. Yeah.
going to go back and forth with this in YouTube, so I'm just going to sit here and be quiet tonight.
No. Hey,
Hi.
if you got something to say, I mean, that's kind of why I keep my voice open for this. So yeah.
No, I mean it's just interesting to watch. I think that you pointed it out pretty well that I'm watching the right brain
Mm-hmm.
starting to make sense of what's happening. I can just imagine him pacing and perseverating around his house, and he's starting to think about the notion that this isn't going to work out
Yeah.
well. I mean, he starts talking about Jodi Arias and
Oh God.
making the plans to leave the toys with the church, and I think it's starting to kind of come to the realization that
Yeah.
this might be a bad idea. And 3 months is a long way, from going to Buenos Aires. So hopefully in those like 2-3 months, he'll perseverate on this enough to be like, you know what, this is a really bad idea.
Well, that's assuming that Omicron hasn't travel restricted everybody in the country at that point. So
Well, I think Ileana is gonna. I don't think she could ever Jodi Arias him because it would be Jodi Ariasing him without any of the sex or the abuse in person. I think that she's just gonna stab him if he comes within 5 feet of her. He'll get cut.
Oh yeah. Easily. Oh, I mean, not even cut. She'll just straight up take the stiletto heel to his balls.
Yeah,
That would be self-defense, James.
Yeah.
I don't see it ending well.
Because would be actively doing a present danger to her.
Yeah. And the trick to kicking is you lift the knee up, then kick. Up, kick. Up, kick. So, you want to yeah.
I also feel badly for him that it's looking back at all his videos and like seeing the loop, and then he starts talking about the former employer situation, and I thought that was just really interesting that somehow, some way, with all the things going on and all of the trolling and comments, that somehow he still ended up back there, which I thought was just fascinating because there just seemed like two completely separate, I guess in his mind, traumas, and he's just kind of bleeding them together because nothing else at this point makes sense.
Yeah.
So he's going back to something he felt confident in years ago. It's like, I was very confident in this theory. So now I'm just going to bleed this theory into this because this isn't making sense anymore, to try to rebuild the confidence of what he thinks he knows. But he doesn't know anything anymore. He's slowly starting to realize it to himself. But, he's catching up with the rest of the world that's been following this now. So.
And I think that the more that we start to make these react videos, the stronger that his split brain is going to start to become, because eventually that split brain is going to push out all of that Eliana bullshit that he's been clogging his brain with for 7 years. So these react videos will help you eventually, James. And then when they do help you and you're to the point where you can say, you know what, I'm glad that Randolph Vance made that channel and made those videos. I'm glad that Hatman made those videos. I'm glad that Adonis Paul and Virgie made those videos. When he's able to say that and mean that on a genuine level, then he'll be happy, because he'll finally be able to let go of all of that anger and hatred that he's been holding on to for 7 years.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
James, I know just by some of the changes in your own behavior and speech lately that you're definitely watching Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why I show up and hopefully get an opportunity to talk to you, because there's two things I know, James. There's one thing that you've said to Ileana that I truly, absolutely believe is genuine, which is when you made the video about panic attacks.
Yeah.
Because you know what they are, James. I could tell. You felt them all your life, and you know exactly how horrendous that felt. And that seemed like, when she mentioned that was the one thing that you actually truly felt guilty for, because you can empathize with that one thing. Maybe not anything else in the world with her. That's one thing you can empathize with. And you don't realize how much of that you've caused. And it's not the trolling and it's not the rage responses. It's someone was teasing you and you took it out on this person who had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And inadvertently caused her immense recurrent panic attacks.
Right.
And you can't blame it on the trolls and say, well, you got to understand, they were teasing me and I didn't know it was real. So I just raged out on you and terrified the shit out of you for years. That's irrelevant. In the end, it doesn't matter why you did it. She had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
She wanted nothing to do with you, but you did it anyway. And you only get so many chances to make a first impression, and you've blown two with her.
Exactly.
And you're definitely not getting a third, and that has nothing to do with anybody that's been saying anything about you.
Yeah.
She had you pegged in her mind 5 years ago before any of these people even showed up to call you out on it. And the second thing I thought, James, was you're imploring her to get offline.
Because
and you've spent all these years trying to get her all back online.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're imploring her to get offline, James, is because you're starting to feel less confident about what's going on and how this is going to go. And you think because she's just like you, she needs to get offline because if it's starting to convince you, you're thinking it's definitely going to convince her because she's a stupid woman and you're the superior male.
Yeah.
And if you're starting to feel shaky about your love, then God knows what she's feeling right now.
Yeah.
Eliana. And that's why you're imploring her to get lost.
Yeah. Oh, Eliana, you're so smart. But then you go on Daywave and you act like a complete idiot. And then, oh, Eliana, you're so smart. But then Randolph Vance makes those videos and you tell him all these things. And Eliana has no contact with me whatsoever, James. And James, we do these videos out of our own accord. Eliana has no input into these videos. And she watches them, but that's only the fact that this is what makes your videos all the more tolerable is because we add a kind of filter layer to it. We're able to, strip away all of your bullshit, James. So,
James, one of my favorite sayings is for mindfulness. Your autism is showing, James. It's showing.
Yep.
It's showing big time. Because all this time you made a million videos to get her to come back online and talk to you. And now suddenly you're not feeling so confident and you're just begging and pleading and convincing her to go to prayer and everything else and just shut off the internet when you spent over half a decade to get her back on it. Now she's here and you're regretting never getting her back online.
Yep.
So
because the more that Eliana goes online, the more internet streams that she'll go on and bring more attention to this clown. So, yeah.
Well, James, think about it this way. Rather than trying to implore her to get offline, the only way that stops for you is you get offline because for every video you make, there's a reaction video. Mm-hmm. Every video you try to private, she's gonna send to them because she's not gonna protect you. No. She's not your friend.
She never was.
I guess from the standpoint of what he defines as friends, they were friends. But in how she defines friends, they weren't friends.
She cared, she cared for him the way that a person would care for a kitten that they found on the side of the road and is nursing back to health. So that's all that he perceives is that he wanted to make himself look vulnerable to Eliana so that Eliana would accept him. And then as soon as he's in the door with Eliana, he just unleashes the flood of creepiness on her.
And his biggest mistake that he could never take back is that when she showed you an ounce of compassion as a person she thought was suicidal, rather than being thankful and treating her with respect and thanks for taking you out of your darkest moment, you turned it into something twisted and perverse.
Yeah.
By then being completely disgusting and hitting on her because you couldn't control your sexual impulses.
And James,
and that's where you bastardized it all, man. And you're not going to be able, you can't take that back. And that's long before anybody else got involved.
And James, the reason why you were so angry that Eliana said that, to go kill yourself is because she knew she had figured it out that your threats of suicide way back then were all bullshit, and it was just a manipulative way for you to get into a relationship with her. So when you're saying, "Oh, well, I'll kill myself if you're not going to be in a relationship with me," and then she's like, "Fine, whatever, just do it." You know, she's trying to wake you up out of your narcissism, James, by doing that. So
I think she's also taking back the one kind true thing that she
yes,
gave you because she's angry at herself for even giving it to you in the first place because
mm-hmm.
this is how you repaid her.
Yeah,
With torment and panic attacks and fear
mm-hmm.
and disgusting commentary for over almost a decade. You know, that was your repayment for this one kind act that someone gave you. And that's the sad part of it, James,
Yeah.
is that someone actually cared to save you. Not because they liked you or thought you were hot or thought you were their soulmate, but just out of general decent humanitarian effort
Right.
that she would have done for anybody that would have been on that community tab or those postings or someone she met in that chat at that time in her life. She would have saved anyone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the person she decided to save repaid her with repugnant bullshit.
In the future, to any women who are watching these videos, if you're approached by someone in chat who throws you the "I feel suicidal, please help me," then just say, "You know what? I'm not a therapist, but here's the National Suicide Awareness Hotline. Please call them and, good luck." So don't fall for the narcissism.
Yep.
If I
It,
was a woman and I reached out and gave all those kind words and that person says, you really saved me, thank you.
Mhm.
Is it all right if I suck your taco? I'm immediately wishing that I never
Yeah.
saved that person and that I never helped them in my life. I
Yeah.
mean, you lost that within the first 10 minutes, James. I mean, this is,
It was a bullshit
you can,
act. It was all a bullshit
yeah.
act. He never had any intentions of, suicidal behavior. So he was just doing it just to see if that would get him in the door, and it did for a while. And then he did some stupid things, and he got the door slammed shut on him, and he deserves it. So
You're just scripting now, James, just going back to the well of what worked years ago, but your scripts aren't going to work. Love bombing ain't going to work.
mm-hmm.
Telling her how much you love her every day for 50 million videos isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Talking about suicidal stuff isn't going to work. Like, you're just going back and saying what play worked before, and you keep just using the same two plays. Like, there is no play.
No.
There is nothing you could say that's going to change this woman's mind about how she feels right now. And
Yeah.
what she feels is absolutely nothing. She's not even mad at you. She's not mad. She's not sad anymore. She's completely indifferent. She's like, you know what? He can post for eternity. I don't care because pretty soon it's nothing. She's getting married. She's going to have a life with a fiance she seems to really, really love.
Mm-hmm.
And
And who
she's just going to
understands.
move on with her life.
And
She's going to breed with someone else, and she's going to have a litter of kids, and she's just going to live her life like you never existed. This part of her life never occurred.
And then, a year or so after Eliana and her husband are married, James Robert Clark is going to be making videos. So, could you name one of your children James Robert Clark the Fourth, please?
You know what, though? He might actually leave a lasting legacy, though, because he might be Argentina's version of the boogeyman. like he's going to be a story that parents tell their kids about the internet to terrify the shit out of them in the future.
1, 2, JRC's coming for you.
Yeah, we have to figure out maybe Ileana can give us a good Argentinian name for that kind of specter. We call it the boogeyman or whatever in America, but I'm sure there's the chupacabra. He's the new chupacabra of the internet.
Chupacabra Jimmy, we'll call him. Chupacabra Jimmy. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, he might actually end up in some folklore one day, 100 years from now. He's like the Slender Man.
Oh,
He's
he'll
he's gonna
end
be a
up.
creepy pasta
Yeah,
if he's not already.
he'll
I mean, he
actually
really is.
he'll actually end up in like multiple folklores because he'll end up being like Sasquatch. He'll be the Jersey Devil. He'll be the Loch Ness monster. He'll be the Chupacabra. He'll be whatever urban legend is needed. So,
I hope one of your listeners is still into creepy pasta because they could really make they could really make a good one. It might end up becoming an
oh
actual movie. Be
oh
like the
god.
Candyman.
Oh God! I have plans for this little LolCow. I believe me, I have plans for you, James. You're going to go on a much bigger, much more nicer LolCow ranch pretty soon.
But
James, I say these things in jest, and it's not really to tease you.
Yeah.
It's just I'm trying to put it in any way in which that you can have some level of comprehension about the severity of your actions, absent trolls and everything else. Like they don't matter. Before the trolls even showed up, the trolls showed up because of your National Socialist posts.
Yeah.
Because of your race baiting posts, and then you put your heart on your sleeve on the internet,
Hmm.
and they saw these weaknesses that they could exploit to get at you because they were angry about your politics
Yeah.
and your beliefs in race. So when you're making Eliana, I love you videos, of course they're going to say they're her family. Of course they're going to say they're saying these things, and you miss the whole point because of your inability to recognize social cues and context. They did it because you gave them everything in the most public forum ever. It had nothing to do with your employer, man. It had nothing to do with, you know, people, all these things that you came up in your mind as to why she disappeared. And I'm sure you did have panic attacks like you wouldn't believe, which is
Hmm.
probably why you're so upset. The fact that you thought she had something similar, which she did. But you'd lost her long before all that shit came along, James.
Yeah.
Long before. And they just watched your posts, looked at your community tab, grabbed information, and then took the information you handed them
Oh,
and threw it back in your face like
hey,
this.
thank you.
Only on posts.
Thank you for reminding me. Because about an hour ago, remember we were fucking with James. I'm gonna check in on that. Thank you for reminding me. Community tab. Let's take a look at James Robert Clark's community tab. Wait a minute here. Oh, damn. Boomer moment. Give me a moment. Come on, Jesus Christ.
And James, one of Vance's posts, his live stream the other night when he was posting Adrasdea singing,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, she'd make more money on OnlyFans just singing, and people would have more like and respect for her for doing that talent than anything else she does.
Yep.
And she's kind of missing the boat because I think people, if she did that, you see that kind-hearted nature in her that she's in there somewhere. And I kind of had like when she's recounting her childhood and singing and things like that, I'm like, this is a person that I actually don't find offensive. And I thought, James, why don't you make some posts about those cats?
Okay, I have
Show
not.
somebody else a part of your world.
I'm going to have to
For
try to
God's sakes.
refresh this here just to see if he's deleted this or not. Let me see. No, he did not delete the comment. I am shocked. Okay, maybe James is learning after all. You think so? Because he would have knocked this comment down like after 10 minutes, wouldn't he? Oh, did we lose Discord?
No,
No.
he's changing, Vance.
Yeah.
He is changing because now I think before he would block out anything that would go to the opposite of what his right and left brain wanted to believe. But I think sometimes he's keeping it up because he needs it. So it's kind of pushing, I don't want to say reality, but sense and rationality back.
Yeah.
It's kind of like posting Post-it notes to remind you of particular things, so that when your mind starts to go into the spiral of perseveration, that it's like a life preserver to pull his ass back out. And I think he needs those.
Yeah. Tiberius posted a brilliant video from where he did like he put James Robert Clark III's face over Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. So he's doing a whole bunch of Jim Carrey. He's kind of, acting all goofy and silly and shit. But you look at it and it's James Robert Clark's first one.
Tiberius's joke about Palm Sunday was probably the joke of the year. Oh, that was a good one. Do you remember that one where he said his fathers have Father's Day, mothers have Mother's Day? What does James have? Palm Sunday. I died listening to that joke. That might have been the funniest thing posted on the internet all year.
Oh, I would love to have Tiberius come in here in the voice chat and just hang out with us. Hey, Eliana. So we did it. We did it. Because if anybody has pissed off James more than me, it's Tiberius, I think. Because Tiberius just fucking mocks him every turn. It's like Tiberius till the 8th. So,
James's morbid sense of humor can appreciate that burn.
Hi, hello.
I have, according to Auntie Green, you're watching. I hate you. Wanted you to know that. Sorry.
Oh, hi, James. I know you're watching. Hey, you want to watch some more of yourself, James? I want to watch some more of yourself.
A lot of people will say I don't believe that mental illness exists, and I would state
You are walking proof, James, that mental illness exists. Okay? I don't think we have to go very far with you to know that mental illness exists, all right?
no, I believe
Jimmy,
mental
I'm
illness
not a
is a very
LolCow because I don't fucking stream. I don't do content. Kiss my ass. I hate you. You're a danger to society. I hate you.
Yes. You're creeping out all the women, James. You're making it difficult for all the rest of us.
real thing. I believe that but my belief in mental illness, now mind you, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a mental health professional, I'm not a chiropractor, not an RN, nothing like that. My view of mental health is that there are two types of mental illness. There is mental illness that comes with a physiological root. It's centered in a physiological area, meaning it's a neurological or even a immunological or it's a medical condition that is causing mental health symptoms to arise. It could even be diabetes, things like that. And that's one of the problems is a lot of times people with mental illnesses actually have physical health. They have
Yeah, you know what he just did right now? He's trying to suggest that, people who are overweight are, making themselves mentally ill. And if JJ Stoner, he'd be like, "Oh, what the fuck ever, dude. I don't care anymore."
Dab time.
Yeah. It's like, James, you're trying to use the mental health angle now for your overweight insults, and you're just making yourself look more and more stupid with these. Damn, James. Go ahead.
You're
James,
also incredibly hypocritical to make fun of people who are potentially overweight when you yourself used to be overweight.
Yeah. It's like, James, there but for the grace of God go I. I have been the fat kid, so I will not try to fat shame people unless it's like, someone like Amberlyn Reed who just does not care about their health anymore and they're just doing it for the mukbangs. It's like and Sam and me, we actually saw Amberlyn Reed in person, back at the Kentucky Sports Radio live remotes that she and not Becky, it was Destiny at the time, that they would both be at the live remotes, and we would see Amberlyn. And at the time, we didn't know who they were, but then once we started seeing them on YouTube, it's like, we know those people. Where do we know those people? It's like, and it occurred to us that we had seen them at more than once at the Kentucky Sports Radio live remotes. Hi, Bobcat. Are you going to help me?
Physical
And
health ailments that are not.
Yeah, go ahead.
James, if you are listening, I think you're focusing too much on the wording of mental illness. Like if that's a word that's too hard to swallow because it brings back too many negative memories, think of it as being mentally diverse versus mentally ill. And
Exactly.
I've met lots of people like you, James, who are on the spectrum who look for the holistic remedies, whether it be like you said, like root treatment, eating in nature. I've had clients that were like, I will not take any antidepressants, but I'll take ashwagandha and St. John's wort.
No.
Um, because, like Vance said, taking trazodone makes you feel like an elephant took a dump in your brain,
Only for
and
a
it
little
takes
while. Only for a
yeah,
little while.
a
But
while.
then, yeah, you get
Yeah,
over that. And then you wake up and
yeah,
you feel normal. So, but it's the adjustment to the medication that he's
Oh yeah.
probably not happy with. And as soon as the medication starts turning off that obsessive part of his brain and he's not thinking about Eliana anymore, then he's saying to himself, wait. And then he would be the kind that I think would try to stop taking his medication if he felt that he wouldn't be in love with Eliana anymore if he kept taking it.
Well, James, and I also think that the psychotropic medication is part of the reason why you have such a significant, hatred, for psychiatry, because one, how it made you feel, and two, how it made you look.
Yeah.
Because weight gain is a large portion of the situation with psychotropic medication. And,
Hmm.
I think it's part of the reason why you've become so perseverative and restrictive with wanting to be thin or lean, because you just never want to be overweight again. And it's also the reason why you never want to consider the notion of psychotropic meds. I think you think at some point that you need them, but at the same time, these are the built-in excuses you've created as to why you won't do them. So then you have to try to defend your point where really you don't have to, because nobody cares if you take them or not take them.
Yeah.
But the question is do you feel like something is amiss where this has impacted your social, emotional, and occupational functioning? And if you're not working, and if you have all the time in the world to make perseverative videos towards a woman who wants literally nothing to do with you, then you've gotten to a point where something in your mental health has been, compromised, because in the end, it's not a mental illness if it doesn't impact your social, emotional, and occupational functioning.
Right.
I've seen people that are bipolar as fuck, James, and you know what they do? They're the best workers I've ever seen in my life. And if it's not getting in the way of their life, then guess what? I don't consider them being mentally ill.
Yeah. I
But
when
if you
when
if you
I'm
can't work, if you can't do shit, but make videos all day, that's when you have to start thinking about your mental diversity and what you need to do to help it.
Oh, look who just showed up in our chat. You know what? Um, hmm. I'm gonna remove the Toyota Tacoma, James, because I want there to be some kind of record on this. I'm gonna put your chat up here. Give me a moment, because you are comedy gold right now, James. You are just
Hey,
comedy gold.
hey, dumbass. We said that.
Yeah.
5 p.m. Eastern is 7 p.m. It's not Atlantic. The one after Atlantic.
Yeah.
I feel stupid. I don't know what time zone. I don't know the name for that particular time zone. But yeah, no, we know Buenos Aires is 2 hours ahead. We covered that already. Keep up.
Well, James, and right now you're showing, some more autism because you're just trying to fix in facts so you can gain confidence. You're talking about some insignificant fact for no reason.
Actually, hell, why am I doing that? You can see the chat on the other side of the thing on YouTube. Why the hell am I, James? Why are you making me do all this extra work? Oh God! Oh, it's because I wanted to show the world what an idiot you are, and they already know, James. Jesus. All right. Yeah.
Operatives. Oh,
You're taking my eyes off the prize, James. You made me take the photo of the Toyota Tacoma off, James. Oh, wait a minute. Well,
no,
I didn't even transition to that, so they didn't even see that anyway.
no,
Jesus,
no, maybe leave it up.
I'm turning
You're
into a
working hard
boomer.
for it.
Yeah, I'm turning into a boomer now. So, but James,
Yes, I do. Yes, I do,
we're
James.
trying to help
Congratulations.
you.
You're not deaf.
We are trying to help you with this, James, and you can take the help or you can keep on making these videos and keep on making yourself look stupid. So
James, I have a fucking list. And I'm tired because we're in the same. You're stating the fucking obvious that everybody knows.
Yeah, James, if
he's drunk, just based on what he's posting, he's fucking drunk.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I am not giving him a wrench. I'm not giving you a wrench, James, because I don't trust you with the wrench power. I give everybody else a wrench, but I know who not to give a wrench to, and you are definitely not wrench worthy, James. Trust me on that.
No.
James, I hope you just consider some of the things we're saying, because I think that the part of the reason you come to these things is not even to troll back. I think that some of it somewhere makes sense when you're pacing around and talking to yourself, not because of your voices, just because you're talking to yourself, working this out and scripting it out and rehearsing it and rehearsing it and rehearsing it or rehearsing it, or, giving yourself, puffy eyes because you don't want to scream because God forbid you end up getting kicked out of your apartment or the police come. And I think you have a lot of discipline, and I'm not even offended by your humor, mainly because I'm used to it working with autistic people. And I know that it comes from a very awkward place. Like, you like banality, you like things that are morbid and that are, senseless, because that's attractive to the autistic mind. That the more goofy a meme is or a comment is, the more hilarity you find in it, and it's stimulating.
Yeah.
There's a reason you're attracted to the things you're attracted to. The problem is not everybody is into the things you're into, and somehow, some way, you convinced yourself that you have this symbiotic mind with a person who's very diverse from you, but you just make these assumptions that what you like, she'll like, and when you send it to her, she's not just like you, James. You don't have the exact sense of humor, and some of it's like, what the fuck? And you're missing that point, is that I think that you actually have found some people that you can find some stimulation and humor in, with being, dealing with Vance and Royce and Hatman. I know why you like Hatman. Yeah, I know why you like Hatman. And I'm not talking about the Galena stuff. I'm just talking about the fact that what he posts and says is perverse, and that's his shtick. And I can see why you'd be I was gonna say attracted to him.
If I was gonna say, if Hatman wasn't gay before, he is now after meeting James Robert Clark III.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that as a burn on you, James. I'm saying I get why you gravitate towards them, or like AP, because of the ridiculousness that is his show.
James,
that's your shtick.
Oh, James,
So,
you really want to see a political debate, James? James, you want to see a political debate? James, did you look up my KET debate from 2012? Is that it? You think I read during that debate? More like they were reading for 20 minutes each just to keep me away from the fucking microphone. Once they realized that how smart I was on that 2012 debate, James, they didn't want me to talk at all. They were going to give me the whole microphone for an hour, James, because they thought I was you at that time. But by that time, I had reformed, and they only let me talk for 5 minutes because what I was saying actually was the truth. I'll post that. I'll post that video, James, if you want, and I'll show everyone what I can do compared to what you can do. So, go ahead. I'm sorry, ASDSS. But
and some of the things that you think you have in common with her were slight, but you kind of bastardized it. Like, for instance, when you talk about the biology of race.
Mm-hmm.
So your notion of the biology of race is that white people biologically are more superior than black people. Well,
no. Wait a minute.
That's not what she believes at all.
Hold on. Remember, we're not white. We're pink. Albinos are white people.
So, but that wasn't her debate.
Yeah.
Her debate was from the notion of cranial structure and physiology were different. But when it came to a person's worth or intelligence, she completely disagreed with you.
Yeah, James.
She doesn't hold white national socialist ideals, and she didn't back then. It's just you took something and you got excited about it, and then you applied it to the fact that she's beautiful and assumed that you guys had this thing in common. But clearly she doesn't believe what you believe, James, because she's been in a real relationship that she talked to on a regular basis with an African American guy for 7 years.
Yep.
So it's like, you're wrong. And I know that you don't believe you're wrong, but when the wedding photos come out, you're going to realize, well, I was fucking wrong.
Well, being a girl, I can't wait to see the dress. I bet you it's going to be lovely.
Oh, if she shows back up on Daywave, maybe you'll see The Rock first.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking the dress and how beautiful it's going to be. I can see her in a sweetheart neckline. She's probably going to have a shrug because I believe she's religious.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm a girl and I
James,
sewing and cyber arts, it's my thing.
James, I'm gonna tell you something that's really, I know will bother you, and I'm not saying it to troll you. I'm saying this because I want you to consider this. At your lowest moment, Ileana saved you, like you said, and I believe that that's true. I believe you felt that. But at Ileana's lowest moment, Royce saved her. So who do you think her best friend is, James? Who do you think that she adores, and who do you think that she's putting on a pedestal? Because when she needed help, he sought her out and said, hey, man, we came across this guy. We wanted to know, like, number one, if you're real, because there was a doubt for all kinds of people that they thought she was completely fictional.
Yeah.
And he was able to find her, and he said,
across a photo, and you were in love with a fake person.
He reached out his hand and pulled her out of the darkness the same way Ileana did for you. So if you want to talk about who you think her best friend and comrade is, James, it ain't you, buddy.
And you know what?
In her time of need, because of what you'd done, Royce did that.
And you know what Royce did that, and you know what Royce didn't do that James did? He put her on the pedestal, and he didn't knock her down, James. He didn't knock her down. He put her on the pedestal, and he kept her on the pedestal, and she's still on that Daywave radio pedestal.
You know why you want to know why she didn't have a problem with what those guys said versus the stuff you've said? Is because she knew it was a joke and they didn't actually mean it. When it comes to you, she don't know the difference. Is it a joke? Is it real? Well, 7 years say you're not kidding.
Yeah.
And that's why you're creepy. And Royce can talk about her Argentinian milkies or whatever the fuck, he said.
Yeah.
Because he gets a pass because she knows that he's not going to try to act on it or show up in Argentina, or maybe he will for the wedding. Who knows? But she might be his best man for all God knows at this point.
I want to see Hat Man as the father of the bride giving Ileana away. So
Hat Man should be officiating the wedding. That'd be even better.
Yeah.
No. Royce should officiate the wedding. Pastor Royce. I can't do the accent.
There you go. Hey, can you get him some
Pastor Royce and Brother JJ?
Can you get him some like church vestments so that, like, he has like the neck collar and the stuff like that?
But she might actually get a pentagram rosary, but it'll be the one that Hat Man hands her during her wedding annual.
It'll have a little cowboy hat on it.
But how is Pastor Royce going to bring Gertrude down? Gertrude, for those who don't follow Daywave lore, is Pastor Royce's rather obese diabetic wife. She's lost both legs. She gets around in her medical wheelbarrow. Will the medical wheelbarrow be allowed on the plane? Ooh.
You gotta think about it, James. I really want you to think about that.
Tomorrow about that.
James, at your lowest moment, Ileana did something kind to help you.
No, when he pretended to have a lowest moment. When he pretended, I'm not even giving dignity to that. I don't think there was any truth to that at all. He was just trying to use that as a way to get to Ileana.
At that moment, she believed it, regardless of what his intention were.
Right.
But at her lowest moment that you put her in, with all the panic attacks and everything you've done to her, and I know you know what they feel like, James. You probably have in your whole life. Royce put his hand out and pulled her up. So for as much as you've adored her all these years, what do you think she feels about Royce? And how much adoration she's going to give that guy?
It's okay.
Way more than you could ever give Ileana. She's not looking in your direction anymore. She's turned her head and she's looking at how Royce helped her. So in the end, You lost not because Royce is doing anything, but because he was a friend and he didn't take advantage of her kindness or her willingness and didn't say repugnant things for 7 years.
Right.
And he hasn't talked to her since. He had her on the show. They made jokes, but you go look on Daywave, you're nowhere to be found. And they don't talk about Eliana. It's not like they're still harping on her, obsessing over her.
Yeah.
They helped her out and they said, our good deed is done. They covered you a little bit longer. She came on again to joke around with them and have a good time. She was completely comfortable with being on their show and how they treated her, and she didn't feel like at all. She knew they were joking. It's not like she's stupid, James. It's not about her, not understanding because she's from some third world country, like you continue to say. I mean, I don't think you realize how many things that while you're trying to be kind sounds so friggin' insulting. Like, I know you don't understand because you're from Argentina. And it's like, holy shit. Like, how many times can you insult this girl, even when you're trying not to? I mean, again, your autism's showing, James.
Yeah. Yeah, James, you could be the richest person in the world, and if you still display all these creepy behaviors, no one's going to want to be around you. They might tolerate you because you have money, but then once the money's gone, they're gone, James. That's all it is. So,
And James, if you were rich, you can literally pay people to just tolerate your creepiness and do whatever. But you picked the wrong one. Let's put it that way.
yeah. All right, hey, James, you want to see some more of your own words reflected back on you? I think you ought to see this.
Not being treated properly because they're diagnosed prematurely with mental health illness, or mental health disorders, or it is an existential issue. Like a lot of the problems that I have now, I have legit medical issues at this point, but
Autism.
or I should say, medically centered mental health issues like PTSD, which is a neurological issue. But then there are other.
But no, yes and no. James, could you tell us what was the horrid trauma you suffered that caused your PTSD? Because we know you weren't in the army. All joking aside, I doubt you were horribly raped for days on end. Like, how badly did your dad beat you? Because that's honestly the only thing left.
And James, what's interesting is when you talk about your physiological symptoms, which to Eliana you call panic attack, to yourself you call, chest pain or tachycardia or whatever you want to call. But when you go to the doctor and they ask like, what's been going on? This is how I know you're not delusional or psychotic, because you have the wherewithal to compartmentalize and not say a goddamn thing about what's going on and what's happening to you on the internet right now. A psychotic person would absolutely have sold this all out and it have gotten to that point if you get that much distress. So that's how I know you're able to compartmentalize it and go in and look cool, calm, and collected, like the Fonz, and then all this shit has stirred up behind the scenes that your doctor or whoever you go see doesn't know. And you're probably not telling them, well, I've had a lot of stress lately. Half the internet is trying to steal my imaginary girlfriend from me, and I'm trying to get to Argentina because even there's a part of you that's like that left and right brain. That's irrational as shit. So you're not saying it. You're compartmentalizing it. And there's probably tons of people in your life that you talk to maybe on a regular basis that if they're not on the internet, they have no clue what you're experiencing right now because you haven't shared it with anyone.
Right.
Because you can handle it yourself, because that's the autistic trap I find, that when people get in over their heads,
wait a minute, that may not be
they don't want to tell anybody.
Oh no, it is. Never mind. He changed his name back
to
his full name on his channel. Sorry, continue.
Okay. No, go ahead, ASTSS. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just
making sure it wasn't a fucking troll because he changed his name back to his full name.
Hey, James, you're not gonna.
Oh no, that's him, because I'm pulling his videos off his channel. Yeah, he went back to James Robert Clark III. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to go double check because we had an issue like the Tuesday before Thanksgiving where our problem child came in under a fake James Clark account.
Oh,
So just
God.
making sure it's not a problem child.
No.
Well, I mean, it is, but not a random one.
James, I mean, the fact that I know you're probably not outwardly sharing this in like what you call the real world lets me know you're not psychotic. So you have that going for you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get the appropriate help for any of the symptoms you're experiencing right now because you don't want to share this because there's a part of you that knows this is insane. Like you even say it on your videos, this is insane. It's baloney. Well, this baloney is starting to physically take a toll on you. And you're not going to share it. You're not going to get help for it. You're not going to say, this is the stress I'm dealing with because you know it's crazy how it's blown to this level of proportion. And it can all stop, but you can't stop because you're compulsive.
Yeah.
You could turn around and start making cat videos and talking, going back and finding community on veganism and the other things that you like. And people leave you alone. But you just, I don't know what it's going to take, man.
Yeah.
But I think you will get Jodi Arias without all the sex and the abuse and everything else. I think if you come within 5 feet of her, you're, Hispanic people can be a little stabby, James, according to your stereotypes. You really want to mess with somebody
my
from South
God,
America?
Sorry, continue.
Do you really, really want to mess with somebody, from South America, James, with all the stereotypes you believe? Those Colombian neckties, James? Like, do you really want to take a chance that
Oh,
if you get within
no.
5 feet of her, she's not going to gut you like a fish?
No.
Like,
They take him on a tour of the dog food factory.
no, I'm not saying that as a joke, James. I'm saying nothing good will come of your trip.
No. James, give up and you'll be happier. You might take a financial hit for a while, but it'll be a lot better than having to spend the rest of your life in an Argentinian jail. Okay?
Yeah, take that money, go to Germany, go see some of your friends.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My overtiredness and tism is coming in from his whatchamacallit community tab. For people's information, Buenos Aires time zone is only like 2 hours ahead of Philadelphia's. So no, they don't have the sun when we have the night. They have the winter when we have the summer, though. Clearly, you folks aren't just fat and stupid, but you failed social studies, geography, and earth science too. No, James, no.
James, you're only
You
that's
failed all of those things.
Don't worry about that because it's just noise. Because he needs to state facts in order to feel confident. Because he doesn't have anything else to say, and this makes him feel stable by just spouting off facts that are cemented in 100% clarity. Because everything else he could say